Hello, everyone. How we doing? Hello, hello. We're going to be starting in a few moments as WardiTV Spring Championship Group B today. So, yeah, we're pretty much getting set to go. Just give me a couple minutes to sort some things out, and we'll be off into this, guys. Appreciate a little bit of patience. Cool. Yeah, we're going to be going into Krystianer versus MaNa as our first matchup. I thought they weren't vetoing. Sorry, they actually have already vetoed. They just weren't vetoing in public. They were vetoing in private. How dare they? But yeah, we can kick this off and get this going. Alright, players ready. I'm counting down. I'm going to kick this off and get into some PvP to start the days off, guys. Let's send it into some PvP. Let's get in game and let's cast some StarCraft 2s as we have ourselves in the bottom right-hand corner of the map to start off today's 2026 Spring Championship Group B. Again, it's a weekend full of Spring Championship. We got ourselves some great matches coming up tomorrow and Sunday as well, especially. Those seeding groups are looking great. I'll talk more about them later. For now, we got ourselves MaNa in the bottom right. He's going to start us off as the green Protoss player here in this Polish versus Polish, Protoss versus Protoss matchup. In the top left, his opponent will be Cristiana. This is going to be a day where, obviously, again, it's 4 players. It's round robin, so 6 best of 3s in total. Top 2 players advance to group stage 2. The bottom 2 players will find themselves eliminated from the competition and knocked out here. There is still prize money for getting knocked out, whether you finish 4th place in your group or 3rd place in your group. Both players get paid. You do get double the prize money going 3rd. So every match matters. Every bit of scoreline is important. There's a lot that can add up in your favor here and help you out. And as we get this one ready to rumble. What's up, Roddy, mate? Starting the day with a PvP, a Polish PvP. Beautiful. I was trying to get the PvP out of the way, and I was like, well, half this group is PvP, so we're going to get a couple PvPs out of the way, and then we're going to, oh, yeah, actually, no, I think we go straight into the Q games next, because Trigger asked to play later, so, yeah. A little bit of PvP, all the PvT in the middle, into some PvP at the end as well. Probably just going to be hiding the line of sight blocker for a couple of seconds. Cybercore and the Gateway both continuing up for a little bit. And yeah, everyone is playing the double gate. Everyone is playing into that Cybercore, obviously, very natural. But no kind of fast expansion attempts here initially in this opening game of this series. So yeah, no super fast expand. Obviously, you can still expand off the 2 gates, especially if they both look at each other and say, well, I kind of want to expand into that. I want to expand into that. You really can see expansions, but let's see what the choices are going to be. I mean, MaNa has thrown a robo down on the bottom left of the map. Is going to suggest maybe not. Krystianer may be more likely, simply for the fact he has no pylon on the map, so at least it's not going to be a proxy play. There's obviously a good plethora of builds you can utilize from inside your base on one base as well, but if anyone's going to expand, it would be Krystianer, but MaNa will be being the aggressor, so if you expand as Krystianer, you're putting yourself in some danger and giving MaNa the chance to get utility and value out of that robo facility, which is already on its way down. Couple of stalkers coming up. Warpgate and the Robo both continuing in. Again, the Robo coming up from MaNa. Get the battery on the way through as well. Still bringing that into play. Stalker and the Warpgate still settling for a few moments. And a couple of stalkers just hanging about. There's the Immortal Corona boosting on the Robo facility as well. Just going to be bringing that straight through. This probe from Cristiana is so close to seeing it, but he doesn't quite see it. So he doesn't know yet. He doesn't have the info that this is happening. He's going to go up the ramp now, and now he should see it, so Cristiana will get... He does see that, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Kind of only just. He does get that scout, though, as Cristiana is going to push the couple stalkers back over to the right-hand side. It's just going to chase them away. And again, Prism coming up, warp gate on the way. Robo facility and the stalkers still building through. And those other stalkers stepping around us to decide what they would like to do in the next few moments as well. The stalkers gather. Again, Prism and the sentry coming through. Warp gate is about to finish. Gateway on the way up, so we are going to see MaNa get into additional gate production. Krystianer just built a robot at home, so he's going to get his immortal out defensively. He's going to also add a gateway on. Of course, being the aggressor here as MaNa can be a big advantage in itself. The ability to kind of step forward and put yourself in a position to pressure onto the gateways at the front of your opponent to potentially take those down. It can force a bad reaction. It can force a bad defense. Obviously, you know, if you get those gateways as well, then that's just a benefit that you're gaining. The long-term disadvantage for you is going to be having the robo on the map. Now, these stalkers are going to warp in. Force field is, okay, not going to let them walk in. However, the pylon may go down. It does mean you're missing a bunch of stalkers on the other side of the map, and this puts a bit of pressure on MaNa. Does he want to press the issue immediately? Does he want to go ASAP? No, he's going to recall home. So these stalkers have done their job. They've denied a pylon. They've shut down 2 gateways for a good amount of time. They've forced a recall. And Cristiana is not going to have to deal with this group of units for a little bit. Obviously, they can go back onto the map and everything, but these stalkers really forced a lot, and MaNa getting pushed into a little bit of a rough position here just initially. Another immortal coming through. That Stargate still building. We had 2 more pylons on into place as well. Going to be seeing the other units coming around. Just seeing the Zalt getting warped in. Stalkers on the stalkers. But you're going to get a bit of a trade there. One stalker going down already. The other stalker getting pushed back. And again, Stargate coming up. The Immortals coming through. A little bit of feistiness for a few moments. We are going to get across and get that stalker, though. So that is going to be a pick-off. That is going to be a kill. Again, the Immortal still coming along about halfway through for the moment. Immortals coming up on either side. This is going to be MaNa continuing to retreat back down to the bottom left side of the map here. So again, pulling away on that one. A few adepts in the Phoenix coming up also. Continue to put that into place. And seeing where we can go as we just see the extra adepts warping in. The Phoenix is still producing. Obviously, Phoenix is a big utility at this point in the game, because if you can lift up some of the important units, you can obviously shut those down. More importantly, you can deny the Prism. You can't just Immortal drop forever against Phoenix. So that takes away one of the main uses of that Prism and double Immortal that you're looking to make the play of on this as well. And it's just going to be seeing the Phoenix, a pylon coming back around. It's going to have the Prism going to get turned around instantly. So yeah, this is just rough, as he's going to have to drop the Immortals. He's going to warp in a Sentry and a Stalker. Going to lift one Immortal up as we just start going for the kills. Don't need to kill the Prism right now. Okay, he is going to kill the Prism right now. Don't know if that was necessarily the most necessary priority. Obviously, this is kind of weird because these Immortals are still getting some value. Big fight happening across the map at the same time. MaNa getting cornered. Going to try and evacuate. He should be able to save the other Immortal. Does the Prism get out? Yes, it does. So he keeps his Immortals alive, but he lost everything else. This actually just went very wrong, unfortunately, for... yeah, it just went very, very wrong very quickly for MaNa. Like, the catch on the Prism should be amazing for him, and yet he still lost a bunch of units. I think he just overcommitted to fighting the Immortals. Like, just the Phoenix pushing the Prism back, but then obviously just getting too caught up in that fight. Allowed his opponent to come through. Now his Immortal, 2 Immortals in the Prism go down. Cristiana is going to be storming through this game. MaNa's just out of here. He knows ain't sticking around during that to any benefit. So GG's. And that is going to be game number 1. Going the way of Cristiana to open up the day. We'll get into game 2 in a second, as MaNa hosts the first one. Not sure what the map is, so we'll give them a moment just to host us into a game 2. As our second map of the day gets underway. Obviously some PvPs. Maybe a little quick to start the day off, guys. Let's see what happens. Alright, everyone readying up. And game number 2 about to begin. Cristiana taking the 1-0 lead here in our PvP to start things off. Obviously, round robin. And what's going to happen in the round robin? We did have one Polish Protoss advance yesterday. Geralt got in over Showtime. That was the first match of the day that set Geralt off to a great start and eventually led to him getting second place in the group behind Rogue in Group A of this competition. And again, today, Group B. 2 more players will advance to Group Stage 2. And 2 more players will be eliminated, as Showtime and Nicarak, unfortunately, were yesterday. Let's see who gets where. And let's see if MaNa can bounce back in this one, because it feels like this is the kind of match where from here on out it's only more difficult. Trigger, Cure are, I think, a lot of people's favorites in this group, although I definitely think you can say that, you know, they're not the guarantees to get out. It's just they are the favorites still. So a loss in this first match for either of these guys really is going to be very tough, because then you're looking to have to beat arguably stronger opponents in the next rounds, so you know, even have a chance of getting out, and you probably have to go 2-0 to give yourself the most likely chance of advancing against Cure and Trigger. It's not really, like I say, it's not impossible, but it's never going to be easy, right? So yeah, definitely a little bit of pressure on the guys right now as we get into game 2 of this. Let's set this off into play. Getting assimilars coming up, probes coming through. And figure out what we want to do here. Take a couple of moments. Second game already down from Krystianer, and see MaNa, yeah, he's going to go 1K expand. So he is going to go a lot more aggressive than what we saw in the previous game in terms of the economy. Talked about it very early last game, just this idea of, well, if anyone's going to expand, maybe it looked like Krystianer. In the end, that didn't end up happening. They both play a robo, they both play one base for a while. This time, MaNa is going to be kind of inviting Krystianer to come and deal some damage. He's like, hey, look, I'm going to expand early, and you can either join me with a later expansion of your own, or you can try and kill me. You know, those are the options kind of put onto the table here. Krystianer has 2 main pathways he can walk down, so he needs to decide which he wants to walk down. And figure that out. There is a pylon in the front, so it seems as though the aggressive route is Krystianer is kind of tempted toward. Very understandable. Like I say, it's a very early expand from MaNa, and a lot of the time playing from behind like that in a PvP can just be very difficult, so I think that does make some good sense. Just initially, as I'd sell it in the probe, I'm going to go and slice their way through this pylon, so a little bit of damage being dealt. We get some work done here just for the moment. Proby still pulling around. It's going to see that Zealot still slamming into this pylon for a couple of moments. It's going to take that down, and on we go as the Zealot will keep fighting. The Adept will take a bit more damage. Just going to see the couple of Adepts still coming through. The Zealot still taking some shots as well. Let's have ourselves the Robo Facility going to start Chrono Boosting the Immortal. So bringing that Immortal up, getting that into play. Again, the Zealot and the 2 Stalkers just going to pick their way through this pylon as well. So continuing to work on that just for a moment or so. And we are going to deny this, which is obviously really rough. Obviously, a second pylon comes up. A little delay on the first Immortal then. Now we actually have to be careful not to lose our Stalkers here. The Probe is looking to try and get the Adept kill. Another Stalker shows up. We get good damage onto the Stalkers. Obviously, the Adepts are a factor as well. We kill off one of those Adepts. And now it's just a Stalker and Adept remaining, but about to be accompanied by the Immortal as MaNa. Well, he knows exactly what's coming his way. Let's see if he can prep up in time to get enough stuff ready to deal with this incoming group of units in that army that is getting settled here. Robo Facility is still building. The 2 Probes and the Stalker coming about. The Warp Gate is indeed about to finish. Stalkers get over there, just going to grab that Adept. And just going to see the Gate and a couple more Stalkers coming through to the Prism. Still building, and again the Robo Facility. Just going to pop that Prism out right now as well. Again, the couple Stalkers and the Immortal continue to gather around. I'm just going to be seeing the units are going to load up into that Prism and pull right out over to the left side for a couple of moments. So we're just going to poke up the Robo Facility. You can see our Stalkers, the Immortal, a couple sentries going to come through. You can see the couple Stalkers, that sentry coming about, that Prism getting set, just having the couple of batteries still coming into place. MaNa obviously just wants to play defensive here, good positioning, make sure that these units cannot dive into his main force fields to slowly advance into the low ground. Get some good damage onto that Prism with the sentries. The Prism actually has to be very careful. Obviously, you get it too low, and it gets sniped down by a Stalker or 2, and you're going to get into a lot of trouble very quickly. So Yeah, that's actually going to put a lot of pressure on Cristiana, who obviously really feels the pressure to do something here. There's the Stalker's hitting that Prism again. It stays low. We lose one Stalker, and this time the Immortal is able to swing for at least some damage up into the main base. Yeah, actually getting to stick around a little bit and actually getting some pickoffs, but it's going to get more difficult. MaNa's getting his own Immortals through. His two Stalkers get some more shots. Again, very close to getting rid of the Prism. Again, removal of the Prism would be massive. Has he just fallen short of the mark? That Prism is still alive. Cristiana gets a warp in from it. And now we step forward. Obviously, the Prism means that we still have micro potential as well, which is a big factor. Being able to micro this group of units around can give you so much more value. We do see a little energy recharge onto the battery here to give us a little bit more healing. There goes the Prism and the Immortal inside. It's going to be okay for MaNa in the end. Man, this actually got very close. It seems as though this was... Actually, it was getting very scary. And like I say, Cristiana just loses the Prism, loses that Immortal. In the end, MaNa has enough for defense. It felt like he put so much effort into denying the Prism for it to then stay alive. Is really sad, right? So if it had actually been able to stay alive there, that could have been perhaps a big problem for MaNa to have put so much effort into denying it, then it actually doesn't get denied. Yeah, you can kind of see what the issue is on that, right? So we go to White Rabbit for Game 3 deciding map in the first matchup of the day, guys. WardiTV Spring Championship Group B, as we have ourselves MaNa and Cristiana coming up in just a few moments. Get this set and ready to go. Perfect. Now let's jump into this one. We're going to start in the bottom left side of the map. Our green Protoss player is going to be MaNa. He has obviously been able to tie it up with that defense, that super fast expand, gets away with it, gets set up, and is able to put himself into a winning position. Now heading into Game 3 against Cristiana in the top right-hand side. Okay, coming up from both. As we just wait to see what exactly the builds will be, obviously. Again, kind of attention towards whether we may or may not be seeing some fast expanding. And a couple of similar still coming about. Just going to get that gate brought through as well, so getting that up for a couple moments. And there's going to be 2 gateways each once more. So resetting back to a little bit more of what we saw in that first game. Let's see if we can see pylons coming down. Let's see if we see aggression. Or if we maybe take a bit more of a passive approach to this Protoss versus Protoss 2 gate versus 2 gate. The pylon from both players, both toward the upper left-hand side, both keeping their probes nearby, which suggests the proxy. It's going to be the same proxy. They're both going to have a similar amount of money. No, it's going to be a Stargate from Cristiana and a Robo from MaNa. Always like this a little bit, I think, on the side of the Robo player. Because, yeah, the Stargate can get in and do some damage. However, the Robo is really going to be uncontested at home for a little bit. Anything that comes from that Stargate has to fly back home as well, is the main thing, right? Having to fly that back, you know, from the Stargate to the bottom right-hand side can be pretty frustrating, so... And just take a while. You know, you're basically building, you know, a lot of your tech units are going to be coming out and just not being in the right defensive position straight away. This doesn't mean this is impossible, but I do like it for the Robo player here. So much of this will come down to what the Stargate can do. If this Oracle flies in, gets a bunch of kills, then yeah, it's going to be tough for the Robo player to keep up as well. But if we can negate a lot of the damage from the Stargate, like I said, I think it really does just open the door towards this Robo facility being a very successful addition and a very successful push forward in the early stages. The Immortal and the Warp Gate coming up, that battery coming through, the probes in production as well. those Adepts stepping up. Just going to see the Stalkers coming by. And you see the Adepts are going to make their way in. Just going to have the couple of Adepts still swinging for a little bit of damage here at the moment. Now going to be having the Oracle, going to take a few shots as well, a few probes. Pulling back and away. That 3 workers is not a bad start. Obviously that Immortal is out on the other side. The Prism is now building too, so we're getting very well set up into this. Oracle just pulls away for a couple seconds, just pulling this back over in this direction, up toward the top. Apparently, Adepts and the Phoenix coming through. The Immortal going to be coming in there. Just going to see the gate and that Immortal coming up. And yeah, just having the defense starting to set up from Krystianer. Obviously, the nice part about this compared to the previous game where he was defending as well is going to be he still have the Oracle. And then now he's actually going to start building a Phoenix. So while it has to come across from the upper left, being able to get a Phoenix out is very good long term. I think this is one of the scenarios where if MaNa can, I'd actually rather see him expand than really try and keep up the pressure. Obviously, he's got to keep a bunch of Stalkers at home against this Oracle anyway. So expanding feels a lot better, and then just kind of poking through for the gateways and so. You know, get a bit of a contain on your opponent for as long as possible as well. 3 sentries is very smart, just in case a Phoenix comes in and lifts the 1 sentry fort that you were hanging onto for a force field. Now you're going to have multiple. That's obviously because MaNa wants to step forward aggressively. He's going to try and find a little bit more value, so deciding to try and just get a little bit more out of this than anything else for a couple seconds. I'm just going to see those force fields beginning to fade away. Prism to Adepts continuing through. Just going to see the couple of pylons still coming up as well. Just going to see those Immortals coming straight by. A couple of those probes going down. Workers already dropping. Just going to see the Prism loading back up. Phoenix is going to be making this a lot more difficult, although there's enough units in the low ground that Phoenix can be fended off. This Prism is not in any real danger just yet, so we're fine for now. Just a couple of Adepts continue to get warped in here. Goes up top, the 2 Immortals drop down. Simulator, a couple of the probes are going to start getting picked away at. The Phoenix is there to once again play deflect for a little bit. Just going to be seeing the force fields coming through and able to knock this down. The Immortals and the Stalkers will try and fight. It's a big commitment in. Phoenix will use itself to lift up one of these Immortals, but that's not going to be overly effective. And I was going to say, it does have energy for one more lift if we give up on this and decide to lift again. However, MaNa is broken through the high ground ramp. Is going to get through those initial gateways. Now, having the Phoenix lift up this Immortal. Still trying to step through here. These Adepts staying busy as well. We go back and forth. MaNa cancels the Adept Shade. Not going to let those Adepts step away from where they were at. Instead, just going to start pulling back down. And we do see the units of Cristiana able to overwhelm. We're actually going to drop a recall here as the Immortals get into the low ground with the help of that Prism. Able to do a lot. And MaNa is not able to bust through. No expand behind this. And so here's the issue. Robo exposed out on the map. Nothing to really kind of, hold on to in an advantage back at home. And his army supply just down. MaNa is just in the worst position in this game number 3 now. Cristiana's defense once again has been good. And as he steps forward here, we're just going to try and save the Immortal, which is very respectable, very reasonable. Like I say, we will lose the Robo facility, takes a lot of that production away. Immediately, Cristiana starts to expand. He knows attacking into his opponent may not be easily done. So he says, okay, if I can't attack into you easily, let's at least have the plan behind this to be that I'm establishing myself a lead, that I'm giving myself that ability to kind of step into the next stage of the game, basically. So we decide to go for that as the Adepts, the Stalkers, and the Sentry pull back down. Let's having a couple more Adepts getting themselves warped in as well for the moment. Couple subs, thank you, Fantasy TYTY Fanboys, 63-month resub. If you're paying a car mortgage, it's just 1 more month. I pay it. Thank you so much for the resub. What's up, Siege412, 15-month on the resub on the Prime. And also DJ Crispy on the 29th month resub on the Prime as well. Thank you for the big support, guys. And the first match of the day. We appreciate the support, appreciate the subs, appreciate the Primes. Thank you for helping us out as we see the Stalkers stepping forward. The Sentry's there as well. It's going to get one Adept now. The Adept's going to shade and look to make their way into the natural. Threaten the main base. A couple of force fields coming down. MaNa does have an army supply lead right now. Can he utilize it well? Lets his Adepts go into the main base. The Adepts of Cristiana respond, but they're outnumbered, so that's a bad fight for Cristiana. He begins to try and fight with other units, but that means those other units are not on the low ground. The Phoenix gets a lift off, trying to help here as best we can. Does MaNa have enough to keep going? Still about 10 army supply ahead. Battery is out of energy, so it's not going to be changing much either. The probe is pulling in, obviously sacrificing these workers to give us a chance of holding on against this is where we currently sit. The Prism trying to micro back from Krystianer, but it looks as though MaNa is getting it done on this push. This shove seemingly has been good enough for him. As Cristiana, it fell apart a bit. The fight kind of got away from it, especially the Adepts in the main base started to do a lot of work very quickly, I think, was a bit of an issue. Well, Adepts going to stay busy, just going to see those Immortals are going to come back around, putting in a bit more pressure again. And going for a little extra, and the Adepts still taking some more shots. And again, the Immortals are still stepping through toward those Adepts. Continuing to try and make something happen here. Probes unloading from the Prism is not exactly ideal. It doesn't exactly look great, does it? 7 workers left in this game. The army supplies are going to even out. Maybe Cristiana will have one last-ditched effort across the map, but by the time he gets there, MaNa should have had time to re-establish units with the economic advantage, right? 26 workers still mining versus the 7 probes that were up into, the Prism and all sorts, not mining the whole time even, despite their lacking numbers. This Adept just keeping you back. Every probe that goes down right now is a big hit to Cristiana's economy, so MaNa is buying himself time, just jumping around. He knows that given time right here, he's in the better position. It does seem as though MaNa is going to be able to knit himself together a best-of-3 victory. That was really a pretty wild and out there kind of match. It was not easily won by MaNa in the slightest. What's that sentry? And Immortal just gather up in the main base for a couple seconds, just going to hang around there. And it's going to be the Prism coming down the map as well from Cristiana, so heading down to the south. Cristiana sees how much there is, types GG, and knows that this game has unfortunately gotten too far away from him. GG's. And it's going to be MaNa taking the 1-0 lead, heading into the second matchup of the day. As we are going to start seeing a bunch of Cua's games. MaNa's actually going to play a lot of games early. But it's going to be MaNa versus Cua, Cristiana versus Cua, then Trigger versus MaNa, then some Trigger versus Cua, and then we ended on Trigger Cristiana. So that's going to be the way that we go about this, guys. We'll head into that NA server for the next match here in a couple of moments. So Cua versus MaNa, as Cua will look to start off strong. MaNa will look to obviously get to try and be a 2-0 player himself. See what we can do there. Yo, what's up, Lothan at 1? Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for priming us up. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. As we get set and ready to go. Cura is here. Just waiting for MaNa to hop on over to NA. I didn't do my heads or tails just yet. MaNa's heads, tails. It's fine. It means he gets the server preference later, but Cua gets the server preference now. Cool. We just wait for MaNa to hop onto NA, guys. And we'll get MaNa versus Cua on the way up here for this WardiTV Spring Championship Group B. No problem. Appreciate what you do for SC2. Well, thank you so much. And like I said, really do appreciate you supporting it. It's not possible without your guys' support. This is a WardiTV event as well, of course, which means that this really does not happen without your guys' support. So, yeah, obviously, if you guys are enjoying, consider supporting, subbing, priming, liking, following, all the things. Helps us out, and especially when we're doing the WardiTV events, especially, we're obviously trying to consistently grow these and pay out the players. So, as much support as possible towards that just helps us do more and more and more. So, yeah. Yeah. We're so close to getting 49,000 YouTube subs as well. We're so close to 49k YouTube subs. We're creeping closer. So very close. We're not there yet, though. We're at 48957, and then obviously once we hit 49k, surely the road to 50k will be upon us. We'll be able to start stepping through. Very exciting indeed. All right, we'll take a few moments, guys. You just unsubbed from the YouTube. That's fine. You were probably turning people away anyway, Maples. People see you subscribe, they're like, oh, not going to subscribe to the same YouTube channel as that guy. Yo, what's up, Photobaz? Thank you for the 18-month resub. Thank you for the StarCraft as always. Thank you so much for your sub as always as well, mate. Thank you very much indeed Subbing up and supporting. Yeah, we got a full weekend of StarCraft, guys. Obviously, I do think today and maybe tomorrow might be faster groups just because it's a lot of PvP. Kind of depends on what the PvTs look like to try and lengthen it out. But we got some great matches over the weekend. Group A and Group B of the seeding matches tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow's group is like Hero, Classic, Zaun, and Beyond. And then on Sunday, Shin, Solar, Max Pax, and Clem in a group together, all best of 3 round robin. Ooh, that's going to be a hell of a group on Sunday, you bet. So yeah, Sunday's going to be great. And then on Monday, it's WardiTV Mondays again. And then Tuesday, Kung Fu Cup. And I'll probably be taking Wednesday off before we go into another weekend of StarCraft next week as well. It's just, there's a lot of StarCraft going on, guys. There's a lot of StarCraft going on. What's up, Nanoflower? Thank you so much for the 11 months. Hachi, make it a 1 year resub on the Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for 1 year of subbing. That's amazing. More StarCraft is always a good thing. Hell yes. Thank you so much for the 1 year. Thank you for priming us up. Appreciate all the subs, guys. Let's keep them rolling. Yeah, through the Spring Championship. I really want to try and get us through to the at least 600 subs again. I'd love to start have an attempt of pushing 700 subs. So yeah, obviously Spring Championship going to be lots of games, lots of action, lots of great games as well. We're going to be busy this next month. There's going to be a lot of StarCraft. So just as it gets nice here in the UK, it has been getting kind of nice as well. So yeah. All right, jumping into Tourmaline. In the top right side, our orange Protoss player is going to be MaNa to start us off in game number 1. Taking on in the bottom left, our blue Terran from Team Liquid. It is Cure. Alright, so, kicking off game 1 of this best of 3, getting this underway and seeing what exactly the PvT has in store for us. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of PvP and PvT today, guys. 3 of each of those matchups. MaNa, Cure. I mean, obviously, win this as MaNa, you already 1-0 in the group. Win this against Cure, I think you're going to be in a very, very good position. Ain't guaranteed to advance, but like I say, you'd be in a very good place, I would imagine. Just hanging out by some Protoss remnants down over there. And is maybe get a little cheeky here as we do proxy up on the 3rd base location of Cure. So it's going to be a pylon. We'll see what else MaNa wants to do. MaNa definitely not shy of getting too much done. Just going to have the probe maybe ready to drop down Stargate here. Stargate and a Robo. Oh my goodness. Holy. Alright, well. We'll get this on the way. Just going to have ourselves the Robo facility, that Stargate coming through, that Warp Gate still coming by as well. Let's see, the Robo facility, the Void Ray coming about, Warp Gate coming through. Getting settled for a couple of moments. See what we want to do here. People will be trying to fight Probe, taking some shots. Obviously having the scout on this from Kira is pretty nice, seeing what's going on. Void Ray and Immortal. And Kira's already bunkered up on the main base. He's already figured out a little bit of some things going on, right? So, obviously now he knows exactly what's going on. But, bunker up on that base. Void Ray and Immortal coming. I mean, I guess we kind of gotta go at least. I mean, do we build a... I presume we build a prism, but actually maybe there's a world where we just try and harass with the Immortals on the low ground, using the high ground vision of everything here. That Void Ray is not in a great place because that Reaper was going to provide vision for the Cyclone to keep shooting. So we just about pull that back, get back to a battery. The other two batteries in the front here now finishing. It is going to be a prism, so we are going to look to elevate her up. There is going to be some space we can kind of elevate her into. We've got to be super careful here. Props Prismatic to try and catch the Cyclones. I was going to say, as MaNa, you've got to be super careful because obviously you step too far forward and two Cyclones are going to put some serious work on you. And try and pick away at a depot just initially. You're going to see the Cyclone locked onto a Void Ray once again. The Immortal going to move up. Obviously, Immortal will shred depots, Cyclones, and all sorts. However, losing the Immortal would be a bit of a disaster. We do have the Phoenix as a backup plan right now. The ability to kind of get a lift with that could be game-changing and game-saving given the right circumstance. So, Prism loads up again. Just going to drop into this base. And you see one Stalker loading up one more time. And you've seen the subtle Cyclones, but it's more damage out. The Phoenix actually going to lose one. The SCVs pull in as we try and make sure to deal with this ASAP. We come back through again. A couple of Vikings still firing away. Just seeing the Void Rays going down. Oh, this has not been enough damage out for MaNa. There's group of units from Kira's being able to just push this back and very comfortably turn this away and just say, nuh-uh. This ain't going anywhere at all. And we do have the tank now sieged up, hitting that battery, putting some work in right there. Alright, this feels... It's not over, but it does not exactly feel good, especially just losing a bunch of the tech units that took a while to build up. Losing your Phoenix, losing the Void Ray. You know, that's a lot of very useful units. When Phoenix can lift up units out of the fight, when the Void Ray obviously is just massive damage output against all the mechanical forces when Pops Prismatic. Now see those two Cyclones locking on, and they will latch themselves onto these Immortals. We're going to get rid of one Immortal. We're not going to get rid of two, though. It's going to be GG, and that is going to be Kira taking this opening game off of MaNa to defend his way into a 1-0 lead in his first match of the day. Alrighty guys, game 2 in a couple seconds as MaNa keeps hosting up for us, and we'll let him host up into the second game then. Get this ready to go. Beautiful. Again, thanks for joining us. Hope you're all doing great. It's not over, it feels over. I mean, it wasn't like leave the game territory. Obviously, it was pretty bad. I mean, you're going to have... I thought MaNa was going to have something to say still because he had a couple units. Obviously, we saw them just not doing enough, but... You know, I was keeping a bit of hope out there for MaNa. It was pretty over, just... You never know, maybe Kyo walks down the ramp, miss micros, loses multiple units because the two Immortals shred the Cyclones or something, right? And you know, maybe then you can actually still do something as MaNa, but... Yeah, generally speaking, yeah, it felt pretty terrible. It felt pretty grim. So, yeah, did not exactly seem like a great situation. We're going to get to Winter Madness here for this next map and get this ready to go. In the top left-hand side, it is going to be the player who finds himself down by a game. This, in the orange, is going to be MaNa. He battles against Kua, the red Terran, in the bottom right corner of Winter Madness. So we take a couple seconds, we get settled in, and figure out what it is we want to be trying to do in this game. And Gateway, a couple of simulators all coming about here for a couple of moments, so getting that on the go. Two gates from MaNa, obviously already on the weirder side of things again. I'm not surprised if he kind of stays aggressive over the course of this series. When MaNa is the underdog, he does not hold back and kind of sometimes just being the guy to say, well, you know what, I'm just gonna hold back, I'm just gonna do my thing, I'm just gonna slowly push myself into as good a position as I can do, and just kind of do all the weird things if that's what it takes to push me into a good position. Like, he will not hold back in that regard, so no fear there. If you're a MaNa fan, he is always going to be trying to do something a little on the funkier side of life, it feels like. Well, commenting coming up, SCV and the Reaper still coming through, Cybercore and the Probe in production as well. You're going to already see the proxy coming up from MaNa. It's going to be the Robo, so straight up aggression from him. It's like I say, definitely feeling as though he needs to be aggressive in these early stages, though otherwise he doesn't think he's going to keep up with Kua, and that's why he does just approach this, like I say, with a full-on aggressive kind of mindset, it would seem. A couple Stalkers coming up, that's centering the Warp Gate coming through as well. Again, Factor coming through, the CC and the SCV coming around, so we bring that into place just for the moment. And you can see the Reaper is actually going to be able to get onto the Probe here for a couple moments too, grabbing that and knocking that away. This Reaper is on a big scout. Stalker's actually going to find it here before it actually sees what's up, so Reaper doesn't get the scout yet. Will he get up here to confirm the Robo? No. So Kua may be a little aware that maybe MaNa's up to something, but he doesn't have the perfect information of what it is, so that kind of keeps his scenario open, where he has to keep playing around the possibilities of what's happening right now and trying to figure that out, trying to balance that kind of process of what this could be and what we're expecting. Again, tanking a couple of Marines, continue to come through. Just going to see that Rex and the Starport building up as well. Getting going for a couple moments. Just going to step over. Just going to see the centering the few Stalkers will be there. Just going to see the few Stalkers going to go and put some damage onto the SCV there as well. Tank gets the dubs. Going to be seeing this depot off to the side. Getting chipped away at as well. So continue to pick through this for a couple moments. And this is obviously not a bad start from MaNa, but we've got a long way to go to truly see this as a successful break-in. This really is just the first portion of damage being done. Like I say, there's a long way to go on this one, I would imagine. As that Mortal continues up, just going to see the Viking, the tank, the Marine still coming through, the few Stalkers stepping over. A couple of these SCVs begin to go down. Just going to be having the Marines are going to be there, the SCVs pulling through. Prism loads back up and get back around into the top right corner of this main base. Yeah, a few SCVs, a little bit of poking damage done. I wouldn't say a super crazy scenario from him just yet. I love this Archon. Going to tank a bunch of shots if given the chance to. It's obviously not real, as we're definitely going to get rid of the bunker, which is nice. The tanks, though, onto the Stalkers. Oh, we don't get the lift off, and the bunker doesn't go down either. Oh, that feels like a really game-losing moment for MaNa, because it feels like that moment where you invest a lot, get completely shut down, and now this game gets put into a very bad position for you. Now you're going to end up in a whole lot of trouble. And I think recovery is going to become, like I say, kind of a pretty tough deal from this point on. Let's see if I'm mistaken. Let's see if maybe we can still make something here as our Protoss player. But yeah, when you commit into that base and you see that bunker targeted and it just doesn't die, that's so much damage output that could have been on something more meaningful. And yeah, obviously just keeping it alive gives you in a perfect position then. Stops anything from really going all too wrong. Now we're just going to be seeing this Prism goes down. This feels as though we're going to have ourselves a Marine tank force pushing through to kill these Mauls. Remember that MaNa's on one base. Well, he's expanding to the bottom left side, but he doesn't actually have probes there yet, so his economy is pretty dire, especially as he loses another Immortal. GG's, Kua 2-0, starting the day off very well for himself. A very solid beginnings. Okay, it's going to be Cristiana Kua up next. I need to take 1 minute away from the computer, so I'm going to be right back. When we come back, it'll be Cristiana Kua. So yeah, Cristiana Kua in a moment, guys. I'll see you guys straight after this. It'll be RB. Alright, welcome back guys, thank you for your patience. Q and Cristiana coming up as we settle ourselves into game number 1 of a fresh best of 3. Yeah, we're kind of speeding through so far today. Hopefully we get some longer games at some point, but I do fear some of these groups, when you have 6 best of 3s in a day even, it's not impossible for them to just, like I say, speed on through. As you are going to start this one off with Q and Cristiana both readied and going in a moment. Ruby Rock. Opening game. Let's see what Cristiana's PVT looks like. It'll probably look very different to what MaNa just did. MaNa obviously bringing out a very aggressive series, start through finish, so expecting this to look a little different as we settle in. To the bottom right-hand corner, we'll start things off with the red Protoss player. This will be Krystianer, who obviously lost his first match of the day against MaNa, so puts this one against Q into quite an important position for him. Lose this, 0-2. Trigger left to play. I mean, if you beat Trigger, like I say, you're still at the very least contending for likely a 3rd place finish in the group, which is more prize money than 4th. But it is also, I mean, it's not impossible to kind of advance on like a 1-2 scoreline. It just requires the other guys and other results to kind of go in a way that favors you. So it's not impossible though, right? Say Q goes 3-0, and then, all of Trigger, MaNa, Cristiana were all like losing to Q. Then if the players in the PvP trade with each other, it is possible that everyone ends up 1-2 if they trade in a circle, and then it comes down to map score, in which case Cristiana having taken a map off MaNa while losing is generally already a good setup for him there, but that requires a lot of certain things to happen. Obviously that's thinking very far down the line, further than we probably need to be kind of delving at the moment as we get set up. In the top left side is Q, and we do have a probe scouting Q here in the next couple moments. Power's coming down, and CV producing. And that's going to see that probe moving out. Keep it building through. Factory on the way. It's going to be having the cyber core and the pylon. Building the next coming up as well, probably on the way through. And the Reaper coming about. Escaping down for a couple seconds. Obviously get some scouting in here. Q trying to figure out a bit of what's going to be taking place in these first few moments. And the Reaper latches itself onto a pylon to start out with, so we'll be able to get some damage done here right from the very beginning. That pylon, like I say, taking a few hits, taking some damage, nothing too crazy overall. The mine still coming through. The SCV and the command center continue to come into play as well. Just bringing a lot of that up at the moment as the starport comes through. It's going to be that starport getting about halfway through its production. Just going to see the Reaper looking to try and hop toward the high ground. He gets turned around, a couple stalkers in good positions just to make sure that doesn't go anywhere for the moment. And yeah, we are going to be able to chase that back away for a couple moments now, so very reasonable. Still good. And again, pushes that Reaper away for a couple seconds, just handling that pretty well, making sure that we can't get too much out of this. Still got that blink and that warp gate coming through, and it's going to be the robo dropping down on the natural expansion. Bringing that straight into position here. Get set up to continue. See a couple of wood mines that are going to load up to this medevac. Now we actually saw them moving onto the map just here with the probe, so there should not be any surprise to Cristiana, whose blink upgrade is on its way by. It's coming up to being about halfway done just at the moment, so get that into position just initially. You're actually going to find the probe in the middle of the map, and we'll be able to start picking through that, so we're going to be able to take that down. This medevac now moving through the bottom side. And away we go as we boost into this main base, and we'll see if these water mines can do anything. They will at the very least force a pro pull. Three water mines, sorry, in total as we start off here. That's not done yet, as we are going to see the soldier just walking into water mine range to chase the medevac off. I don't love this. That's 4 probes and a stalker and some splash damage dealt, and we get a water mine and a medevac away. Like, this might have been alright given the stalker up if you were guaranteeing killing like the medevac and then, you know, no water mines escape at all. Leaving units kind of out there, kind of in the, you know, I mean, leaving units in the medevac still, able to come back while trading so much does not feel great in the slightest. So, kind of gotta try and do something about that as well. As the engineering bay, the barracks, the depot come back through. Stalker's just gonna be there, punching that medevac away once more. Two more stalkers get warped in. Just going to be having the stim and the +1 coming through. Marine Marauder still coming over. Raven drops an auto turret around the back of this mineral line. Just going to be getting after the couple of probes there. So we got a little bit being done. Charging those probes still coming up. Got the stim pack, the combat shield, the +1. Building 3 as well. The stalker's going to go to the upper left-hand side. They're going to ready themselves into this main base. Trying to decide what they want to do here. Need these units to actually show up a little bit. Reaper across the map will get some pros, but yeah, the attack on the main needs to be dealt with, which it is. We actually push this back. This Reaper is actually doing very well. Gets itself caught, unfortunately, which is the only reason it gets cleaned up. Otherwise, that was looking kind of okay. Impact combat +1 coming through. That Temple Archives coming around. Just gonna see the Marines gonna be there to push the Stalkers back for a little bit as well. Bio tank just going to come across. Bio going to stim. A couple of stalkers going to get pushed away initially. Just going to see the medevacs will get boosted out around over that left hand side. Just going to get an auto turret in. You can see the probe has already taken a few shots of damage, so a couple of probes taking some shots. 3 workers going down. Make that 4 workers going down. Not bad at all for Kira. He was getting some serious work done. Has more drops available coming in here soon to keep this pressure going. He's just going to see a few more warpins coming straight about then and try and set up against this. And we are going to see the bio into the back and hit this battery. Battery is going to be falling. $18 workers going down so far, so very good damage. Just going to see this bio still trading out. A few more stalkers getting caught. You're going to see the stalkers are going to come back through there again. For a couple moments. Medevac still taking a little bit more damage as well. Just having the shutdown happening. I mean, problem is you're down 19 workers, so you shut down way too late for anything to anything else to do right now. Well, we're just settle back in. This bio pulling back. The Water Mine setting up. Got the Ghost Academy and the Water Mines and everything coming through as well. So continue to get that on the go. Just for now. I mean, Krystianer is still kind of stabilizing out of this. I don't think he's in an amazing position, but we'll see. Stalker's going to shoot through. A couple of SCVs going down already. And Marauder's the medevac setting up. A couple of those SCVs already dropping. And Bio gathers. Medevac's joining up. Just going to be seeing the Marine Marauder. Medevac continue to come through. Again, a couple of forges coming into place. The Robo Facility coming about as well. Just going to be seeing this Bio Force jumping onto these Archons. Go for some work. A couple of Water Mine shots going off. Zelts and the Archons taking some big damage. Just going to have the Archon getting picked off there as well. The other Zealots coming back through. going to see that Bio Army still pulling back. Stalkers are still getting in after the Marine Marauder force here, so chasing this away, and actually not a bad fight for Cristiana. Remember, he's also down on upgrades here, and yet he's actually blinking after units and getting kills on them, so not bad for Cristiana. Position of this game suggests he's in a much worse place. Stalkers gather. Again, Archon, Immortal, Sentry, and the Zealots gather up. Marauders in the back going to get cleaned up as well. Cristiana's doing a good job of stabilizing since he took a bunch of damage. It's almost like taking damage kind of kicked him into gear a little bit. And this fourth base might be a bit tougher to defend. This might be where he just doesn't have the units to spread out a little bit. The mine shots going off. A couple of those Zealots getting hit already. Archon's trying to step through. The Immortals going to be right there. Again, we clean up the Wood mines. A little bit of Bio coming across as well. Zealots in the Archon still chasing. Medevac getting shot at. Stalker's going to blink further up. Try and get a little bit more done. Still chasing this army down. One upgrade still built into play on those forges. We do have the 2 Colossus building up here as well from Cristiana, bringing those into place. So he is again, I mean, double Colossus production is great. Finish the upgrades, get the double Colossus out. I kind of like where he's at in a lot of ways. I still don't think it's necessarily great for Cristiana, but man, the game state is a lot improved on what initially seemed like it might be. So definitely some steps in the right direction there. This army still coming over. Fire Ghost is going to be there. A couple of Stalkers taking hits. Scan comes down. Just going to drop a recall here as we are going to step into this fight as Cure. It's the Colossus that get recalled into this. We don't have an anti-Colossus portion of this army right now. No Vikings. We step back, kiting away, letting the Bio do its work. Some Zealots are going to try and slow down the retreat as the Storms will blink up to do some damage as well. Q in a bit of trouble if he loses this army because the Ghosts are very expensive, so we can't really afford to lose all of this. And Cristiana is going to keep chasing this back, and now the Ghosts keep dropping. This is not planetary here to fall back to either, and Cristiana's going to be right up the map, denying this 4th base potentially even. Now the army of Cure reinforces. We might be able to regroup things together. This was just very Ghost heavy against Colossus that showed up, and suddenly we don't have an answer to Colossus. This 4th base is going down unless we step forward right now. He drops an EMP. Colossus are going to be struck by that, but yeah, the command's into full, so Cure becomes a 3-base Terran, and this gives you so much more time now as Cristiana to figure out what you want to do next and how you're going to approach this over the next few minutes. He's going to be seeing a couple Stalkers getting hit, bunker firing through. He's going to have the 2-2 upgrades coming in on either side. And again, get all of that rolling. Hey, what's up, Flex? Thank you so much for the 41-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Big thank you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the support. Thank you for priming us up as this Bio Army goes back down the sides. Just going to see this next in the bottom left going to be in trouble. Those probes probably just going to be dying as well. Cristiana had such a good push, deny that 4th base. Can he capitalize and do anything else from here? And still got 2-2 coming about. Just going to be seeing that Prism speed coming online as well. Colossus and the Prism continue to build. So the EMP coming down. The Stalkers blink back. There's Bio Army looking to get through. Vikings going to stray on the Colossus this time. Oh, the Stalkers and Archons are not stopping to deal with those Vikings. These Colossus are going to be melting. The Zealots charging through. The Colossus doing what damage they can during this. I mean, we're going to lose every Viking. We have 1 Colossus left alive. Is that enough to keep pushing out enough splash here? Colossus gets dove on. We do just kill the Vikings in time before the last Colossus goes down. Cristiana, this is a good enough fight for him at the moment. Still chasing through. The Stalkers coming across, hitting those bio units. Medevac's taking damage as well. A couple of Vikings going to be here. The Colossus goes down again. A few more Zealots are going to keep moving forward. The Wood Mine goes off. Zealots are going to get picked off. This army of Krystianer decides to turn back around and pull back down to the bottom side. Again, Marine, Marauder, Viking, and Ghost continues to come through. We have our 3-3 upgrades coming up as well. This Bioforce still there to keep the Prism pushed away for a little bit right now. Well, the 3 upgrades coming online again. The next is still building into place for a little bit. Trying to take a CC down here. Cristiana's been trying to compete for this bottom left base for a while. He is a 5-base Protoss. Obviously, Q is still a 4-base Terran. Reestablished on the left. He'll be 5-base if he can get this position, which obviously Cristiana wants as well. I'm sure is going to be hotly contested. Cristiana could expand upper right. That is further away from the Terran. It's also further away from his freshest base, which might be his concern that he wants to defend his fresher bases kind of, you know, as well as possible. He's not going to be able to do that just yet, as we have the Bio Ghost Medevac Viking coming back around. 3-3 upgrades going through, 3-3 and the engineering base coming up as well. Still got those Ghosts, Marines, and Marauders continue produced in to play for the moment. Viking just landed. A couple of those Zelds are going to get chipped away at. Breaking those down already. So it pulls off, going to jump onto the Ghost Academy. You're going to see that cleaned up. The few Marines are going to be there picking away at the Zealots too. And the Vikings just still sitting out overhead, keeping an eye on things. The Zealots can still stay busy. There's a bunker, but we can maybe target down a couple SCVs still. Don't think that's too terrible. Marauder coming up. Those Ghosts still producing again. The +3 armor upgrade. There's going to be building as well. Finishing very shortly. Bio army up through the top. The Stalkers and Zealots and the Archon still pressing forward. Oh, the mine shot goes off. Zealots going to start charging forward. Vikings actually going to get towards a couple of those Colossus already. One Colossus goes down, make that a second. Again, I really feel like these Colossus are important. We're not getting rid of the Vikings fast enough, so the Colossus will keep dropping. The Colossus are a big part of what damages this force. As soon as the Colossus are gone, everything else is melting, and Cure is going to come out on the win in this fight. Just going to see everything else pushing down. Again, a couple of Colossi. The Zealots still coming up. Shield's coming through, but Cristiana just has no way. He just sees that he can't win this fight anymore. He needed to protect the Colossus better. A couple of these fights, he was just a little bit too much kind of like, let's go, let's push straight in. But he needed to like step back and let the Colossus be protected, right? Like get some shots off on those Vikings, reduce their numbers, and give yourself a bit more of an opening to truly work with there. Krystianer dropping that opening game. Good fight back though. A little bit more competitive of a game in the macro sense. I mean, especially considering it felt bad for Krystianer early, he actually turned this around quite nicely for himself. So he put himself back into a couple better positions at certain points, so yeah, considering the start was actually pretty nice from Krystianer, as we'll get to Winter Madness here in a moment. More StarCraft coming up. What's up, everyone in the chat? Hello, hello. Hello, Wardy. Rarely get to watch live. Well, nice. Glad you can join us today. It's always nice seeing people jumping into the live streams, hearing that you guys are usually watching the VODs and stuff. It's always cool. And yeah, obviously, I was mentioning that the great part about us live streaming nowadays on YouTube is that everything gets archived there. So of course, if you ever do miss a stream, everything's available on the YouTube, so you guys can catch right back up and get back into being up to date with all the StarCraft. $100 subs away from 49k on YouTube. Yeah, we are sitting at 48957, so 43 away. 958 now, 42 away. So yes, if you are on the YouTube and enjoying, consider hitting that sub button and the like if you're down there as well. It takes a moment, helps us out a bunch. Greatly appreciate it if you do. And so we get into game number 2 of this best of 3 in the top left side with the 1-0 advantage. This is going to be Team Liquid's Cure. Taking on the red Protoss in the bottom right corner, Cristiana. Hit that sub button. We've got to beat Rifkin. Beat Rifkin at what? I think you're living in the wrong year. Yeah. Alright, Krystianer in this bottom right stack here in the upper left side. Guess they'll set up to this one, get this rolling. We've been building through the orbital command coming into place. And we just have the Nexus and the Cyber Core coming into position as well for a few moments. Probe still coming about. And yeah, Reaper in the orbital coming through for a few moments as well. And get that into position. Never gonna forget the intense rivalry we had. I don't know if me and Rifkin ever really had a rivalry. Rifkin was always really nice to me. Well, he always helped me out. He always made sure that events weren't clashing. It was like the least rival. Like, we were in a position where we could have been rivals, but like, there's the least rivalry that could have ever existed in that scenario, I'm pretty sure. Hell, I mean, there were days I streamed WardiTV events on Base Trade TV because Rifkin offered me like 90% of his sponsorship deal for the day if I streamed it on his channel. It was like, you know, he really helped us out a bunch, so. Sadly, we were just friends. We had a competition at some point. Yeah, we probably had a competition of, yeah, sure, we probably had some fun stuff. I don't know if, because I imagine the Base Trade TV... Oh, I think because Base Trade TV YouTube got reset, right? So I think we had a competition to see who got to more YouTube... Who got to 10k YouTube subs first, mine or Base Trade TV's new YouTube channel, because it got reset for some reason. Actually, I remember that now. God, that's some good memory on your part. Jeez. Yeah, that actually did happen. I forgot about that. That's crazy. You've been out of SC2 lately? Who's the best Zerg, best Toss, and best Terran? Serral doesn't play much, so we don't really know, although he's not had as Serral-like results this year. Clem, Maru, both very good Terrans. Hero, Classic, Max Pax as Protoss. Yeah, I mean, depends when you last watched, but the general top players has been pretty stationary, I'd say, for a little while, to be honest. I don't know if we've really got a best player. I mean, Hero is maybe winning the most out of the Protoss, for example, but yeah, so what to say. Zerg was removed from the game. I don't know if Zerg was removed from the game. We just don't have as many Zerg players as the other races. It's still a thing. Works go down this little drop, getting in early, getting some damage done. Tank, Marines, the Viking coming back through, so again we bring a lot of that into place already, get that set up. Just going to be seeing that blink finishing very soon. 2 more Stalkers still coming into place. Loading a few of those Marines, dropping those back down in position. Again, Tank, the Marines, the Viking, all coming around. A couple of SCVs and the depots will be building as well. The Stoker's just stepping up, and again, Tanks, the Marines, the Viking, going to be there to try and put some pressure on. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers trying to hold this off. Cure double the army supply. This is one of those moments. Oh, okay. If that's the play we have to make, jumping onto those tanks, then we're probably doomed, because yeah, that was not going to go well at all, unfortunately. I don't disagree. Sometimes that's just kind of the position you got to be in. You just got to try and jump on this ASAP. Unfortunately, in this case, jumping on this ASAP was just looking kind of doomed from the very get-go, so it didn't seem great. Didn't exactly end well either, as we are going to be seeing all the probes pulling to try and save the day here. But it's going to be a day that unfortunately may not be saved. Cristiana going to drop to 0-2 in this group. Q going to improve to 2-0. He'll play against Trigger to finalize his results Not in the next series, but the series after. As that is going to be GG's, and it is going to be Kua going 2-0, 2-0 to be 2-0 in this group right now. So Kua looking good. MaNa going to be 1-1. Cristiana going to be 0-2. Trigger, of course, the player we've yet to see. He is here ready to participate. So we're going to get into Trigger versus MaNa right now. And get this started. Perfect. So MaNa, his chance to go 2-1 in this group. Obviously, there is this scenario where if Trigger beats MaNa, and then Cristiana beats Trigger, MaNa already beat Cristiana, there is that kind of circle, and then if Kua goes 3-0, that could obviously get very interesting. So that's something we're kind of keeping our eyes on here as a possibility of what maybe goes on as we ready up for this next matchup in just a few moments' time. Hi says MaNa, hi says Trigger. Get this on the way. Going to veto through Tourmaline for a couple seconds. Start us off. And get ourselves ready to rumble. Tourmaline, Mothership, coming on through. And yeah, we'll figure out our map in a couple seconds. There we go. Ads just came available. Ha 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 ha. Run the ads in your face. Suck on that, Twitch chat. Yeah, not really. They were on cooldown because that second game was so fast, but we get to play them. It's good because it means they won't play in between the games. Halfway through the group already, guys. It's been a speedy start to the day so far, as we were kind of mentioning already. There we go. We'll just take a moment. Gonna see White Rabbit coming up. Into Winter Madness, into Taito Citadel. Beautiful. Alright, let's see if I can host before the players. My lobby went up first, but MaNa typed the lobby link sooner. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. Alright, MaNa vs Trigger coming up in a couple moments then, guys. Big one for this group. Really kind of sets in stone kind of the possibilities of what can still happen here, perhaps. And everyone's here, so we should just be able to kick this off straight into this game. GLHF getting called, MaNa ready to kick us off. Let's get this going through. Q guaranteed through, yeah, 2-0-2-0. You can't fail from 2-0-2-0. You just have too good map score. Because the only person that can kind of go to 2-1, well, it's impossible for multiple people to get a better score than you at that point, right? Like, Trigger could obviously get a better score than you, but for him to do that, he would also have to knock Cristiana or MaNa down at least. So at least that's one more player, 2 losses. So yeah, Kira is indeed guaranteed through. But obviously he can guarantee himself first place in the group by winning against Trigger in the next matchup after this one. So that is something that he can still guarantee. Get some better seeding into that group stage too. Probably not going to make a big difference, although seeding might help you out a little bit with the servers. I'm not sure how exactly that's going to work yet. And just in general, better to be safe than sorry. He's gonna go for 3-0 on the day, isn't he? He's gonna try and make sure he feels good getting through this group, I'm sure. Just coming back to the YouTube chat, sorry, caught up in the last game, but archiving on YouTube is great. You use it a lot. Then you just try to skip to the next game. And I was talking about this a lot yesterday, how awesome it is. I was like, it feels really cool to look back and just be like, wow, look at all this StarCraft you can go back and watch. So it's awesome. Yeah, I'm doing great today. Hopefully you guys are all doing great as well. It's a beautiful day here in the UK. It's a heat wave weekend. Unfortunately, we can't go anywhere because my city has like a freaking music festival this weekend, and it's like we can go places, but like going certain directions is going to be miserable, so we're just going to chill out a bit and stuff. So yeah, it's really nice. It's one of those days where usually if a stream is really fast, I'm a little bit sad, but today, honestly, if today's a fast stream, so be it. I'll just go chill in the garden a bit and have a bit of sunshine in the day. So so yeah, there's a little bit of a sunshine to the faster games, perhaps. Just have outside Bitcoin, the gateway coming up, by the way, is continue to bring that online for a couple of seconds, bring that through for a few moments. In Germany, it's also great weather, and you have a town like a medieval festival. Oh, that's cool. Like, do they call those like Renaissance fairs? I feel like I keep seeing these. I never really knew that these were like a thing until like you started seeing them on social media. I've never been at one. Kind of interested. 15 degrees Celsius heat wave. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Hold up. It's not 15. It is a grand total of... It's 23 right now. And it's not even sunny out. It's just cloudy. I mean, it's not hot. But like, it's hot for us, especially in like the north of England. We don't get it like London does. Yeah. It's not hot, but like, you know, when you're used to it being like, when it was like 12 degrees yesterday, it's pretty nice. You know? It's pretty nice. What are you gonna go pit diving and punch some fools at the music fest? Oh, those days are gone. Young Wardy was quite the party goer at the music fest, but in this day and age, just too much StarCraft to be going and jumping into people and all of that, you know? Never been to one, used to be known for Renfest for like 30 plus years. Yeah, I just never heard of them until I started seeing them on social media. At this point, a few years ago, right? It's not like just something I saw yesterday, but like, you know, like, I just never really knew it was a thing. Like, it's I guess, how do you know about these things unless maybe you live near one and you see it, or it's something you're specifically interested in, so you seek them out? Yeah. It's kind of cool. The more you learn about the world, huh? Well, MaNa has been aggressive. I haven't really talked about this game. Done a great job of the commentary here. But MaNa has been aggressive. However, Trigger is super ready to meet him. The Phoenix is just really a nail in the coffin right from the start, I feel like. Because that is going to be a really brutal starting point. You lose out on your first Immortal just so quickly. It being taken completely out of the fight by the Phoenix is huge. And the Phoenix doubles up on its MVP candidacy, because he just comes through and he just knocks down that Prism as well. As that Phoenix is just going to do a fantastic job, and Trigger completely shuts this down. Now going to step forward into the Robo facility and look to just shut this down completely and totally. And I have pretty good reason to believe that that's probably going to succeed. So looking very good here. As that pylon goes down, Robo depowered. Yeah, Nexus coming around as well. But yeah, Trigger is just going to be in an amazing position on this one. More Pokemon card time today. Guys, I've got bad news. I've actually quit the Pokemons. I've actually quit the Pokemons for the near future, for the foreseeable future. I have quit on the Pokemons. The worst news to this is that I am now playing the League of Legends card game, which is horrible because League of Legends, you know, League of Legends meant, we're meant to be at war with League of Legends, right? But now I'm playing the League of Legends TCG, so I'm like essentially like a League of Legends fan. It's terrible, I know. So yeah, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough going for the Pokemon fan. The Wardy Pokemon fan enjoyed it. This is gonna be pretty grim, as I'm pretty sure MaNa just can't hold on to this. Like I say, he got completely shut down early. Trigger takes a good 1-0 lead. Good start to the day for Trigger, who, like I say, is kind of, I think, the second favorite in this group. I think you got to put Kira as top one. If I had to pick between the pros players, it's hard to pick because PvP can really go any which way. But I would say that Trigger is more likely to kind of get out of this group than Cristiana and MaNa. I think if you play this group 10 times, Trigger makes it out 5 times. Maybe Cristiana and MaNa share the other 5 times or something. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. So, yeah. What is a turncoat? Yeah, I know. Terrible. I turned on Pokemon and I turned on StarCraft essentially. Two betrayals at once. Unbelievable. Pokemon should be accessible if they want people to play. It's just miserable, honestly. Like the entire fun of it's just gone. You buy a box of you buy a box of cards, which first of all you have to fight to find any, and it's like as soon as you have this box, you are literally like it's never good to open packs versus just buying the cards you need, right? But like it used to be that opening a box you would get some hits sometimes. It was fun. Now you just get A, absolutely nothing, and B, because everyone is reselling these boxes at such a high price, it actually just feels stupid to open them, because like you buy a box, it's usually immediately double its value if you just go and sell it on eBay straight away after you buy it at retail price. So you're basically, if you open it, you're basically sacrificing 2 times the cost. You're sacrificing doubling your money to basically at least half your money 9 times out of 10. It's grim. It's grim. Yeah. Just play Magic, at least you can buy the cards. I checked out Magic, but I honestly am really enjoying Riftbound. Riftbound is kind of magic-y from what I can tell, but it's cool. It's got its issues, but it's cool. Anyways, guys, there's a forge, there's a cannon rush. So let's talk cannons here instead of cards. And there's going to be seen a couple gates coming down, these similar coming through. The pro's going to get into the back, so we're going to go for behind the mineral line wall. Oh, he gets it. Wow, he got it. That's actually kind of crazy because you can see that those probes are very close to getting there to deny it. Doesn't happen though, and now they're going to be walled in. The probes are going to pull. It's obviously a lot of lost mine time here from Trigger. But MaNa's going to be able to start the first cannon. What does he do? He doesn't get the reblock. He's going to hold that probe in position to buy some time. Only one probe can hit work on this. Oh. He throws the gateway down in the mineral line as well. I'm not sure how valuable that's going to prove to be. Gets a second cannon now going on the low ground over here. Trigger's going to have to try and respond to this as well. We are going to be seeing with the pylons going down, this cannon in the main is going to have a little bit more surface area available to it, so it becomes a little bit more troublesome. And this cannon goes down. MaNa is going to get caught. That probe in the main base gets shot down already. The cannon on the low ground denied by the Zealot, and I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be a defense made from Trigger. The only thing MaNa still has going on is that gateway coming online, but I'm not sure that's going to be able to do enough, if I'm going to be quite completely honest. GG. Trigger takes game number 2 of this BO3. Aren't we all over the game wars after all those years? Aren't we older on karma? Yeah, I think actually most people in StarCraft don't care, apart from a few psychos on Reddit. But like, it's kind of funny because you still see it, like, if you follow other games or you just follow games in general, I guess, you still see it a lot with like the modern day stuff. I saw people recently arguing about like how difficult it was to become a Rocket League pro versus how difficult it was to become, like, I don't know if it was Overwatch pro or like something. It was some shooter game. I was just like, man, this is this is like the good old days of like StarCraft versus everything. It was a good bit of fun. All right, guys, our next matchup here is going to be the Trigger versus Kua matchup. So this is a big one because actually, first we got to hop to Korea, but most importantly, Trigger is going to be, want to know if he beats Kua here, him and Kua will definitely advance. But if Kua beats Trigger, then Cristiana could maybe beat Trigger to stimulate some kind of a 3-way tiebreaker and maybe still advance out of the group himself. So this match now really gives us a good idea of what the future of this is going to be looking like as we get this ready to go. I'm just trying to log into Korea, guys. Doesn't happen easily sometimes. Thought he was going to make a Zealot there. I think he would have made a Zealot if the cannon had got up. I think there's only one reason you build the gate in the main, right? So, yeah, I think if the cannon comes up, you actually do build a Zealot, sure, but... Alright, we've got Kua and Trigger just joined us in the party so we can get this started up. And we'll kick this off into game number 1, guys, in a couple of moments. Those people have no idea unless they try to become a Doki Doki Universe pro. Ay, ay, ay. Now we're gaming, boys. You opened an Incented Heroes God Pack last weekend. That is cool. You see what I don't like about the God Packs, right? Is I feel like all of the hits went into God Packs. And so if you don't hit a God Pack, which is obviously like say 10 times as rare, if you don't hit one of those, you just don't see anything. This happened in Prismatic as well. It was just like, if you got a God Pack, it's the only chance you have of actually seeing like an SIR. It's just miserable. The rates became so bad in Pokemon. It's actually so unfun to open. Yeah. It's just become so miserable. It really has. Your sports store still has Pokemon cards. So does ours. Our gaming store in the UK just got bought out. Game, which has been like a game store since I was a kid. You know, like, you know, this has been the store you go to buy games and stuff. It like diversified over the years and stuff. Right, things change. But it got bought by like Sports Direct, and so now all of the game stores across the country have shut down, and so they're now just all incorporated into all these Sports Direct stores. Just have like a gaming section. So, yeah. You just buy singles. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the best way to do it. But the thing is, it's like, I always think of it like this, right? It's like, to me, opening the packs is fun, right? And to me, like, opening some amount of packs is cool because you get the baseline stuff you need to play. So it's not like, you know, sure, like, you know, you're not expecting to see all of the rares you need to play, but, you know, you get your commons and your uncommons. But when you're paying hundreds to literally open a bunch of crap... because the last time, now I open a lot of Pokemon, and the last time I opened a pack of Pokemon, I was like, wow, I'm so glad I opened this, was at least 6 months ago. Like, it was not in this calendar year. It was like 6 to 8 months ago. Because every time I open, I'm just like, oh, we got nothing. Oh, every single pack feels bad. Oh, there's a hit. It's worth nothing, because nothing's worth anything apart from freaking the actual sealed box. It's so dumb. So you can actually still play Pokemon super cheap. It's just the entire enjoyment of it left for me. And I also just started to play Riftbound, and I actually realized, I realized that, I mean, to me, Riftbound's just a better game after playing it now for like 6 months. Now that I try and play Pokemon, I'm like, oh my god, like... I described this to someone the other day, where playing Riftbound makes me feel like I'm playing StarCraft 2, when before playing Pokemon was like I was playing, like, I don't know, like, what game did I use to describe it? I don't know. It's like Pokemon's like playing checkers and Riftbound's like playing chess or something, you know? But like Riftbound actually makes me feel like I'm playing SC2 or something. Like, it's got that much depth to it, and interaction and stuff, and improvement and learning. And Pokemon, I feel like I'm actually playing solitaire half the time. I'm just playing with myself, and I have a guy on the other side who loses the solitaire game somehow. But yeah. Hi, Proby. I'm gonna go chase the SCV a little bit. We have an orbital coming through next to the Cybercore coming about. We get settled in for a few moments. Just going to have the probe and the SCV will come and engage through for a couple moments on this one. Get that all underway. See where we want to go. Probably heading down to the bottom side, just see where we can go. Again, the Nexus and the Assimilator both coming up, so again, we bring a lot of that into place. We get that on the move. See where we can take things. Here's the factory and the Reaper and Company all coming up. And again, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming by as well. Bringing that over, getting that settled. This probe heads back up into the high ground. This Reaper is going to come across. And the Adept is just going to dive onto said Reaper for a couple seconds. Trying to Twilight Council now building on the side of Trigger, so bringing that Twilight Council into place. Getting that going, Reaper coming by. Just gonna see this Reaper kind of low. The Adept is gonna come about and try to step across. Two Reapers, that Hellion gonna step straight through. Just gonna be having the attempt to move in. Starport is coming up. We've got a Widow Mine on the production tab as well, so bringing that Widow Mine play here from Cure. With the Starport coming up, we have a good idea of where this is going. Like I say, pretty important game here between Cure and Trigger, because this one really does set up a lot of what else can happen. Let's see those few Reapers coming through. Stalker and the Adepts are going to be in position as well. Rolls begin to go down. Just going to be seeing the few of those workers continue to drop straight away. Just going to have ourselves the 8 workers dropping. It's actually pretty serious. Kira gets in for some real damage early. That's a lot more damage than you'd expect to see. And a couple of Marines and the medevac still building through. The bunker coming up. SCVs on the way. All of the tech labs coming online as well. Bringing a lot of those into place at the moment. Again, charges coming about. Next is coming through. An observer and a couple of probes in production. But Trigger going to be on the rebound here after losing a lot of economy right away there. You can see that medevac heading down the left-hand side, coming across for a few moments. As we stalk, going to get there. Widow Mine just gets picked off already. You see the Widow Mine going to be aiming at the probe for a second. It is going to go down though. The Unburrow is no good. Yeah, Q are going to get away with the medevac at least. This was a pretty well dealt with mine drop. Obviously, Q isn't going to mine too much. Trigger really needed this though. He needed this considering the way that things were starting off. Almost is going to come through. There's going to be seeing the reactor coming up on the starport. Again, Stimpack coming about. The extra Marines coming into place. The gateways are coming into play as well. Still got that blink coming online. And yeah, gates, probes coming through. That medevac with the few Marines inside going to go around the left side as well. See what else is happening. And that one order turret down into the third base. Couple of probes already dropping it right off the bat. Going to be seen against Impact, +1, building through. A few of those Marines are going to get across and just going to start pushing into this position. I mean, this feels manageable for Trigger. A couple of those probes low. We do target fire down for 2 extra kills right at the end here, so here again, a little bit of final value from this drop. And the medevac stays alive. Shouldn't really get out, but of course, if you wait long enough, you might see an opening at some stage. You might get that opportunity at some point, so that does become a possibility as well. Combat shield because of shells, +1 all building through. Just going to see our Bioforce gathering up in the main base. Medevacs will load, and we're going to start heading out down the right side. Off on a journey. And away we move for the moment. Doroba Bay, Forge coming about. Next, and that Blink still coming online. Again, because of shells, combat shield to +1. Continue to produce by at the moment. Marauders and the medevac will be added into. We're just going to see the Stalker here, ready to zone that medevac as best we can for the next few moments as well. Forge finishes. Again, Thermal Lens still coming through for a little bit. Oh, Kira hesitated for a second when he picked up there for a moment. I was like, what are we doing? I thought he was about to turn back into this, so he just stopped. I thought he was in some trouble. You can see the Viking, the armor upgrade, coming about. Having the Bioforce stepping over. Just going to see the +1, the thermal lance coming through for a little bit as well. Stop, we're going to relocate a little bit. Pulling off over to the side, just going to be seeing the Ghost Academy coming through. And the depots coming around, the Vikings coming over. And again, Thermal Lance, 1-1 upgrades all coming about. Widowmine gets blinked away from, so good move from Trigger here as he steps up. There's a tank in position. I can't imagine this group of Stalkers are really that much of a threat. But Trigger is taking this map control and running with it. He's got a 5th base on the way up, so he's expanding nicely, getting himself into a much more comfortable position than he was before. And definitely improving himself over the next little while. A few Ghosts and the Vikings all coming about. Just going to be seeing the Observer here going to get knocked down as well, so that gets taken out immediately. You still see some Stalkers moving up to the upper right side for the next few moments. Well, Dark Shrine, Robot Facility coming up, a couple of gates coming through, the Nexus is building, the Prism is still on its way across. The Raven gets into the back of this main base, ready to try and maybe make something happen here as well. Still got the +2 and +1 coming around, gates and the Stalkers all setting up. Take a few more moments. As the Auto Turrets come straight into place and a couple of those probes begin to go down immediately. 3-4 workers already dropping. And again, +2 attack, +1 armor coming into play. That Disruptor is continuing by, Dark Shrine, the Robot Facility continuing up. Auto Turret comes in again, and a few more of these probes will continue to fall. Just for the moment, it's going to be 8-9 workers going down. Big damage dealt. Bio Army now chasing forward. A couple of those Zealots have got to get away from here. Just going to see those Zealots are still coming about. A couple of these SCVs coming through too. There's going to be 4 SCVs going down. 9 probes went down on the other side. +2 attack. The armor upgrade still coming around. The Bioforce is going to step up once again. Zealot Stalker ready to take a fight here. Going to charge on in. Stalker's blinking in after the Marauder once more. Just going to chase straight through to this. Again, the Zealots are going to make that play. Jumping forward, Trigger trying to push this army back. Can blink after. Get under some of these important tech units, right? Vikings, Medivacs are going to be great pickoffs. Every Medivac's going to go down here. The Raven should go down too. I mean, this is massive from Trigger. He gets so much damage. Now we're going to land the Vikings. Disruptor shows up, chasing the Marauders back. Everything else is there to help push this away and clean this up as well, though. Just going to see another scan coming down. This Disruptor falls once again. Going to see our Zealots and our Stalkers come in from a couple of sides. Units still going to chase up. I'm just going to be having the Zealots will also just keep warping and chasing. So it looks as though Trigger's going to have enough. What a fight from him, just forcing this back, and those Stalkers being able to constantly target down, like I say, every Medivac. Suddenly, this Bio Army is super low HP. Every stim is going to be permanent damage. And the only surprise is, I guess, the Raven lived through all of this. So the Raven survives, and it's not going to change much. As Kira is down a lot of supply, and Trigger has a lot of money as well. He actually blinked to the low ground here is obviously pretty serious. Blink to the low ground, able to come chasing through that Disruptor. Forces a lift up, I should say, but now we pick off the Medivac, and that is going to get it done, I think, in the end. As Kira doesn't have enough to hold on, and Trigger going to get himself a 1-0 lead in this matchup. That's big, because like I say, this takes away some of Cristiana's chances of moving through the group if Trigger is to win this series. GG gets called. Trigger takes game number 1. And we will take this opening game. Wow, what a nice little pushback from him on that bottom side of the map. Got into a very good position there. And really, once he got there, he just went for it, didn't he? Chased down that army. Game 2 will be played on Winter Madness. Let's host and let's go. See if Trigger can take a win or if Kua will indeed bounce this back in his favor to tie it up at least. Let's see. What's up, Mysterio as well? Hello, how you doing on the YouTube? Thanks so much for dropping by. Again, if you watch on the YouTube, guys, take a moment to drop a like on the channel. Drop a sub if you don't already subscribe. Get some love up on the YouTube today. Helps us out, helps us keep on getting people to watch and support. More people find the channel if you like and subscribe, so do that. Just generally speaking as we go. Yeah, just generally speaking, obviously, as well, guys. As per usual, supporting the WardiTV events, it goes a long way. The Patreon page is available for your support, patreon.com/WardiTV. You can check that out over there. We're just sub $2,000 a month right now on the Patreon, which is an amazing place to be. Let's try and keep that up towards $2,000. Get some love on there if you can. We also have WardiTV merch now available, by the way, as well. The merch store is up. If you ! merch into the chat, YouTube or on Twitch, you'll get a link through into that store if you are interested in making some WardiTV merch purchases. Best part of that is it all goes towards supporting the WardiTV 2026 series, so you can support the StarCraft 2 tournaments and the players, while also getting yourself a hoodie or t-shirt or mug. And you can check that out as we go into Game 2 of this BO3 top left. Our blue Terran player from Team Liquid is Cure. Bottom right, our red Protoss player from Basilisk is Trigger. Alright, game number 2. We already have a probe across the map being chased by an SCV. Trigger, nice early scout, wants to make sure that nothing is being proxied. He wants to know exactly what Kira is up to from the very get-go, apparently, so making sure he gets over here to pick up this info from the very beginning. Probe in the SCV. We'll nibble for a couple seconds. And just have ourselves the Rex and the Gateway continuing to produce for a few moments. A couple of SCVs will nibble. Probes take some damage. Here we're coming through. Cybercore is about to complete. Still got that Nexus coming about. Probe and the Warp Gate building through. Patrick coming about, CC coming over. That's the Reaper fighting. A couple of the probes taking some damage. A few shots coming about then. I'd say the Storm's going to fight again. A couple of those probes going down. It's going to be a nice little starting point. CC will begin to move on the natural. Get that on the go. Obviously, Bunker providing a bit of defense here just initially. Get that started, get that on the way. Gonna have that barracks is gonna build up a couple more, so Kira again, his numbers going, and Trigger currently just falling back with this Adept and Stalker right now, bringing them back home. Again, Stalker just going to be there, chase that Hellion out of here for a couple moments. Blink coming up to being about halfway done as well. Next, it's on its way from Trigger to taking his third. Pretty peaceful few moments so far. Impact combat shield all building through. Just gonna have ourselves the extra marauders and that siege tank coming up as well. So again, bringing a little bit of this up and running in the next couple moments. Once you get the Stim and Combat Shield, going to give you a nice setup into the mid stage of this game, more than likely. So getting set up with that. And a few extra Marines, the Siege Tank coming through as well. We just have ourselves this army setting up across the main and natural for the next few moments. A couple of those depots are going to get cancelled up. We continue forward from that position. So getting set for now. Getting this underway. Again, Stim and Combat Shield all building through for a little bit. Getting this ready to rumble and continue. A good amount of units. Obviously a couple of tanks backing this up as well. Looks pretty powerful as you start to move across the map. So an SCV pull too. Wow, Secure is actually really sending this. There's 45 to 19 army supply. It's going to be tough for Trigger. His Stalkers are going to miss the main army, so it's not going to delay much. He might get some reinforcements. But then he's not going to have charge just yet. The tanks are going to be able to get sieged. This feels very difficult. Let's see what happens here as we get this set. The units coming down to that low ground, into the high ground now, into the natural. Tanks will begin to siege, 1 and 2. Stalkers blink away. Obviously, you're going to try and buy time here. Remember that this is going to be a bio army that has the bio upgrades as well, so you have the full power of Stim and Combat Shield in this force right now. It's going to be such a difficult cleanup. There's just so much firepower for the Terran. This is going to make this, like I say, extremely difficult to make work, but let's see. I mean, natural goes down, 14 probes dead. It's looking terrible for Trigger, plain and simple. I'm trying to keep a little bit of hope going, but it's disappearing quickly, almost as quickly as the army is disappearing for Trigger as he tries to fight in. Again, just having bio upgrades to this as well just makes it that much more powerful. It means the Zealots are not as overwhelming as they might usually be when you sometimes see these tank phase pushes, because you actually have the damage output to really deal with the Zealots and to stop them from just overwhelming you and being that tanky force that never disappears. Game moved on to the third, and he will continue from there to get GG's called and to tie this series up 1-1. And so Kira is able to get himself a map, and that's obviously nice for Krystiana, who, and MaNa, I guess, as well, who are kind of reliant on Trigger losing here and to be able to maybe get into some kind of a three-way tiebreaker scenario. So, yeah, we go to game 3, which is going to be 10,000 feet. Let's get this started up. Let's get this on the way. Drop the lobby link down. Ready? We got everybody here. Yes, we do. Cool, let's go game 3. Guys, just while we load in game, let me just check what Ali's barking at. Be right back. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. Ali very distressed that someone is in a van outside. Top left Q, bottom right Trigger. Looks like Trigger came across the map early with a probe again. Again, trying to make sure Trigger doesn't, Q doesn't get up to too much early without him knowing about it. That is the initial plan. Probe nibbling, gonna get nibbled back and pushed away by that SCV for a few moments, so we go back and forth for a little bit. Just gonna see that barracks finishing in a few moments as well. Orbital coming by, Cybercore being built. Bring this over. Just for a few moments right now, it's getting that all set up, getting that all ready. Again, next in the Cybercore, continue to come about, take a couple of moments. Getting the depth on that wall gate coming about. Just going to bring that over for a little bit. Can be seen again. Sentry in the wall gate coming about. Reap again turned away for a couple seconds. Moving around a few moments then, get that on the go. We're going to put some damage out, just going to buff some probes, again trying to be annoying in the early stages. Let's see that we're getting back in. Nice little grenade helps him to get that probie and takes that down for a couple of moments. Charge on the way up, you get that on the way by. Taking a couple seconds here, get this started for a little bit. Just gonna be seeing the Marines and the probies coming about. We get settled in for a few moments and we decide where we want to go next. Again, Stalker gonna be accompanied by the charge. Getting that all established for the moment. You can see the Banshee and the tank play from Cure, so going to be in a little bit more of an aggressive setup than he was on previously, at least. MaNa is able to get a good position. Gets a decent shot. Obviously, all the probes have to pull away. Pretty well handled in the grand scheme of things, I'd say, by Trigger, actually. Not let this get too out of hand too quickly, so feels like he's constantly having to deal with things. He obviously 1-1 all tied up. Big game, this game 3, and like I say, can really determine not just this match, but then also just how this entire group lays out. So, big results on this one to determine how the day continues. Banshee is going to retreat back up the top side. Away we go. Stepping out over there for a couple seconds then, so we're going to pull this back. And yeah, resettle here for a few moments. Just for now. Missing the sentry. He's going to be able to get the siege tank there. See if he's going to pull back over. Nice little drop in. I mean, always nice to get just a little bit of this damage early on. So you can see the Viking, the Marines gathering about for a second. A little bit coming about. Again, a couple of Banshees are coming through for a couple moments as well, so we bring that online and get that on the way. I'm just going to be seeing the Banshee's going to get straight in for a bunch of probes. Big damage done. Now, the Observer is there. The Stalkers are about to have it accompanying, but the Banshee's just going to commit for a bunch more probes. Could have had 12 here. Probably 13, although we actually do keep this alive for a few months because of this, so it's not too bad. Marine Marauder, Combat Shield, and Stim still building up. We've seen the Prism trying to get up to the left-hand side as we do have the Vikings. It's going to be there to obviously help zone that out, trying to stop that from developing into anything too crazy for a couple moments. And that's settled. As we are going to see the bunkers, obviously going to keep you very safe at the front. Obviously have some big damage done across the map by Cure. Now looking to see if we can capitalize and follow up on this at all in the next little bit. Well, Thermal Land still coming through, that Observer coming about, next and the Double Forge is coming into play as well. Can bring that online for a few moments here. Just having a couple of barracks coming through, the Wooden Mine still building up. Continue to get that going, as we are going to see ourselves. A little bit of setup continuing through. Colossus and the Thermal Lance coming into play as well. So again, we get that all building up right now, getting that going. This Banshee going to start firing up at a few of these probes. So a few workers going down. This Banshee being kept alive early. I thought he could have just killed it off for one more worker before, but actually, this works out lovely. You get in, you get rid of a couple more workers, you get some more damage done. Very nice. As you can be seen, finally going down, but of course just causes a response a bit further down the line. Nicely done. We'll just have the couple Stalkers going to hit the Marine. Around for a couple seconds. Doesn't going to get back in the main. Viking going to shoot the Prism. It's going to get shot down. The few Marines on the right side are going to get cleaned up as well. Again, one upgrades continue to come around for a couple seconds. I see that medevac pulling back over for a few moments, so we just pull back over in that direction. We get out of there for a little bit. Again, the other couple Colossus are going to come back through, try and get back in position again. 2-2 coming up from both players right now, so we get that all set. Just right now. Get this on the way. Prism sets on the upper right side. A few Zealots get warped in right off the back of it. We do have the 2-2 coming in from both sides. The Marine's able to get there. Pylon gets picked off. Now the command center on the top gets cleaned up as well. Bio's still gathering back over. Just going to see the Thermal Lance fire, and the Zealots are going to charge in. CT gets denied. Nice push from Trigger, and obviously Cure. He's going to be finding himself very down in supply, and obviously losing the fourth as well puts him and keeps him in a very difficult place. It's an interesting state of the game right here as we figure out what exactly comes next. This Prism around the top, it's just interesting because obviously this is where Trigger starts to really explode, but Q is still hanging on to a good setup, bar the fact that he just lost his fourth, right? But if you can reestablish a fourth, can he stand in this game? Can he stay in this long enough to make this like a reasonably good situation for him long term? Those are the kind of questions I have at the moment about this current game state. So let's see if that's gonna be something we can get an answer to or not as we set this all up. These zealots moving around. +2, +2, +2, all finishing up. Straight into 3-3 from both players as well. Just waiting for the +2 armor from the Terran, but I imagine that'll be +3 as well. Everything else has been started pretty much immediately as well. As the Vikings get there for the Observer, the Nexus taking some damage. These zealots just going to charge through those Marines, and Troublestalk is going to be there. The Blink underneath to get the medevac, and oh, it just stays alive. Nice little win for Cure. But obviously, our Nexus being defended is the main win, as we are going to see a good fight from Cure as well. Good EMPs, and Trigger not loving where he's at. Yeah, it immediately drops the force fields on that left side base, or ramp, sorry, knowing that that's obviously a big chasing direction. And this is the issue, is that Trigger may have a lot of bases, but his army is going to struggle against what Cure has, especially once you start taking the Colossus out of the equation. Okay, that is a massive zealot. That's 19 zealots. The main base of Cure. Holy goodness. And obviously Cure just chased all the way down the right side. So you just warped in 40 supply into the Terran's main base. Now Cure is just going to say, well, fair enough. You do that. I'm going to keep pushing over here because you don't have the reinforcements on this side of the map. You just spend a ton of money on the other side. So I think I can actually take advantage of this and keep pushing through. However, there's another 18 zealots, and that's just a real kind of sign of just how powerful the economy of Trigger has been for so long at this point, because those zealots are now going to come in and wrap up. The zealots are still causing trouble in the main of Cure. Disruptors are landing, and Cure gets pushed back, only to get blinked on and losing medevacs in the process. He may successfully retreat away, but his position is going to be absolutely ruined here. Trigger has enough money to warp in another massive round of zealots if he wants to as well, and he does just that. 14 more zealots, and he's already pushing up this right side. His army quality may not be the greatest. It doesn't need to be when he's able to spam out this amount of units in the grand scheme of things. How many gates does he have? He has 22. I want to see the full 22 zealot warping, to be honest. Give me every single, give me every single zealot warping. I want to see it, I want to see it. Couple prisms still coming up. The Shadow Strike coming through. 3-3 upgrade still building. We've got that on both sides. Like I say, the Pros are going to finish a little bit sooner. But Cure is not far behind on his upgrades, as we do see supplies evening out a little. Cure will try and live. He's going to replenish the fourth once again. Two prisms coming up to the top left-hand side. Just going to be seeing the Marines. Just going to be getting underneath. Doesn't actually target a prism, which I guess because of the second prism, he doesn't think it's going to cancel much. I think it's always worth canceling the prism there, because I feel like you could have canceled the warp-in still. Maybe he just really felt like he could fight the units and get value, which he kind of does, to be fair, so... We're going to punch the prism in the top left-hand side. Just going to be seeing the unit to Trigger going up the right as well. Prism goes down. The Zealots and the Stalker's going to start charging through. Bio army getting cleaned up. The Zealots going down already. The Stalker's still getting jumped on. Again, army on the upper right going to reposition as well. The disruptor shot fires, a couple SCVs go down. Six workers dropping. Again, Lib, Marines, the Marauders coming up. Next coming through, probing the shields coming through. Stalker's going to blink up to the top. Planetary Fortress. Taking down pretty quickly. It's a lot of Liberators able to push back over here. Liberator's able to hold very nicely, push that away. Again, 12 more Zealots producing through from Trigger just at the moment, so bringing those all up. That shield upgrade still coming online as well. And next is about to be done. The Stalkers will sit underneath that Liberator, picking away at a couple of those. The Bio still stemming across. Stalkers now blinking underneath. The Liberator's taking some mega damage. And those liberators really do start to get cleaned up here, so Trigger punching his way through, man. Every single moment of this game is a challenge. I feel as though Q has been on the verge of running out of resources many times, so kind of he's just going to GG on this one. He just can't keep up with how much there is, and that is, to me, very true with kind of where this game is at. Trigger is going to win this, and that means that Trigger and Q will be advancing from this Group B of the contest. Now, this next match may seem like it doesn't matter much, but it does actually matter still for Cristiana, because if he can beat Trigger, he actually will finish ahead of MaNa in this group stage, and hence he will be able to take home some more prize money. So this last match still has some monetary value to Cristiana. While he will not be able to advance from this group, there is still a monetary difference of 3rd and 4th place. So he still has something to play for. Obviously, Trigger looks to guarantee himself, because Trigger loses, he finishes 2nd instead of 1st, so there's a slight seeding difference there. So both players have reasons to, fire through and still deliver on this final match of the round-robin group. Alright, Trigger showing up a little bit. We'll get this Trigger Cristiana match ready to go. Back onto the NA server. Get this ready to go. Alright, guys. Let's wait for Trigger to hop onto an A, and we'll get this ready to rumble. Kick this off and get this going. And thanks for joining us today, guys. Obviously got one more match left. I'll go through that in a moment, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, enjoying some games. So we have got Trigger here. Let's get this set up. Mothership, Tourmaline, Celestial, and Ruby. Old Republic and White Rabbit all vetoed. Picks will be coming in then. First map, 10,000 feet. I wrap the day up on some PvP, guys. Do 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 do. Ba da ba da ba. Cristiana ready's up. For Trigger to give us the same go ahead here. Ready, and we get set to go. Kick this off and into place. Alright. 10,000 feet coming online. Getting this going. Getting this started. Let's get into our final match of the day, guys. It's been a quick one. It's a nice sunny day. Gonna enjoy some sunshine after. And all that goodness. Alright, so in the bottom right, Cristiana is going to be our red Protoss player. This is going to be him up against the blue Protoss in the top left. Trigger. Get this up and ready to go. Okay, we're coming down on both sides of the map. Get this started for the moment. And getting the assimilator coming through for a couple seconds. Just going to see those assimilators coming down already. Get that in position. Get that started. See where we can take things. Just got an ad for a self-driving golf bag. How much does Twitch think you are? I mean, you're watching StarCraft. We're the older, more richer population on Twitch, I guess, so... I guess that's kind of why. Self-driving golf bag, ay. Freaking golf's never been so easy, man. Back in my day, this was a real sport. You had to lug your clubs around, get over it, reset, line up, take your shot. Nowadays, you just gotta crack them into the bag and it drives itself. It's the equivalent of auto-building SUVs, basically, I think. Unbelievable. Old? Yeah, on StarCraft 2 viewers are typically the older generation of Twitch viewers. We're like one of the oldest demographics on the platform, pretty much. On like a large scale. I know, it's crazy, but it is in fact true. Now, obviously we're not old. Old is just, you know, we're Twitch old. Does that make sense? We're Twitch old. That's only coming about. Gonna see the Nexus coming through. Somebody still coming up here. Take a few moments and see what players want to set us up for in the PvP. Let's get that hallucination moving around. Just going to be having the hallucination moving about. Just going to be seeing the next coming around. Dark Shrine coming up. Taking a few moments here. Getting that ready to go at the moment. Wonder if we're older than the chess guys. That's actually kind of interesting. I imagine it's a similar kind of demographic, to be honest. But yeah, no, StarCraft is has a very old demographic. It's one of its saving graces because to sponsors and stuff, you can kind of hit higher tier sponsors for events sometimes because you can be like, hey, look, our demographic is actually of the age of having jobs and being able to spend money, and they're like, oh. It's funny, way back when I'm talking like, when I was streaming out of the studio, so out of my parents into the studio area I rented. So this was like legit 10 years ago, like kind of as WardiTV got announced and stuff. We had a watch sponsor, a brand called Movement, MVMT. And this was one of the best sponsorships I ever had because it was just like a nice product, you know? And even though it was like, you know, basically to get someone to pay for it, it was like 10 times more than like a lot of the other products I tried to sell at the time. But because it was just like a nice thing, like we actually had way more success with that than we had with a lot of the other sponsorship deals that we took for like energy drinks and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it was kind of crazy. They loved what we did. The fact we were able to get so much actual like transition to people buying the products and stuff, they loved it. So it's very cool. It always kind of baffles me that it was one of those scenarios as this is Cristiana trying to get that robo. He's not going to get it. He gave up on it. He could have had it. It would have been close if he kept the DT swinging. I didn't know. 4 probes go down. These DTs obviously have not really done enough overall in the end. Would have liked to have done more.
Game paused.
That's Cristiana going to drop a pause for some lag. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Back to it.
Game resumed.
As we can reset things here and we get this back on track. The force coming down, a few stalkers gonna get stuck. We've seen the stalkers continue coming around for a little bit, trying to see what else we got going on. Gonna see those few probes gathering about, a few stalkers and the sentry gathering as well. Just gonna see the DT on the other side gonna get picked off again. Trigger getting the defense on that. This back around, we get set up again for a couple of moments. Just gonna be seeing the stalkers and still coming through. Using this force from Trigger obviously being able to step to the other side. Trigger already with the supply lead. 10 army supply ahead, taking this fight. What can Cristiana do about this? Can he turn this around at all? Trigger looking pretty powerful here. If nothing else, I think he's going to get the third base. Obviously, the choke point is working against Cristiana. While Trigger has more units, the similar amount of units to fight at the same time, but it means that Trigger can put damage on that Nexus, and he's going to get out of there. That was a kill as well, not a cancel even, so not ideal. Zelda with charge now showing up. How many of these talks can we kill as Cristiana? He's going to have to do some work. Down a base coming out of this is not exactly ideal at all. As we come back the other way. Two more Stalkers and Zell going to get warped straight in here. Again, just going to see the Prism and the Archon still coming up. The +1 attack upgrade coming through as well. Cannon, battery, both finishing up. Just gonna see those units still gathering around again, charge building for a little bit. We bring that into place for the moment. +2 attack now on the way through. Still got that charge building around. Again, cannon coming up, assimilate coming into place. Gonna have the Prism. He's gonna get blinked on, so that denied immediately. And Trigger just on top of this at the moment, still keeping himself in a great position, keeping that army supply lead. Again, his own charge, so he can have his own zealots come in to be some tanky kind of forces in this as well. Looking good. Block guys building up, there's extra zealots coming around. You can see the Zealot Stalker arc going back around down that bottom side, figuring out what else we want to do. So this is going to get the Dark Shrine going down, so at least that's one less thing now for Trigger to worry about. A little bit less pressure on his observer positioning, so... We've seen a couple of Archons and gates coming around as well. Just gonna see the Zealots in the prison coming around. Just gonna see this army. Just gonna chase those Zealots. Units are kind of maxed out at the moment. Just gonna be seeing the units going back and forth, trying to see what else is happening here. Just gonna be seeing a couple shots going through. It's going to be a big fight then. Trigger warping straight into it. He is going to get the warping off, I think, despite that prison being super low. Both players get their warping of Zealots off. Archons are working overtime here from Cristiana. The Archons are going to be what wins this if Cristiana wins this fight, because they have just been 4 of them smashing through the Zealot wall. It's very close still at the end of it all. The prism goes down, and we still have a very healthy prism from Cristiana, although it's very exposed. I think we're just going to disengage on both sides of this, and that's just going to be it for the moment. So I think we're going to pull away from this one and just reset a little bit. And the Zealots come back down. And again, +3 attack, Mortal coming around. And the Zealot's going to head up the left side and see what we can do. And +3 coming up, the Archon's coming in. Oh, Zealot getting jumped on. Just having our Zealots go playing defense then. Trigger holding out in this main base. Let's see the Nexus popping out. Chrono. And we're going to see again a couple more Zealots just leaking around the map. Well, Trigger and still holding a pretty significant army lead. He's actually down a lot of workers though, so going to be interesting to see how that plays out the next few minutes here. Prism and everything else pulling back through. We're just going to have our Stalkers gathering back about. And again, the extra Zealots coming in. Prism and the +3 attack upgrade coming up as well. It's going to be nice having the +3 on both sides, and either player will have an advantage there. Trigger just has to go a little bit though, because obviously he's got himself this position where he has got significantly less workers, but significantly more army, so he should really just be sending it, because the longer he waits, the better it gets for Cristiana, who will just have more time to mine and more time to get set up, basically. So, needs to work through that, as we do have these units working their way down. A couple of Archons, the Zealots setting up as well. I mean, like I said, Cristiano is going to be way down on the army supply, so Trigger looking good initially. He's wrapping around all those Zealots that just got warped in. Does leave his units kind of exposed up the top. Ugly fight now as the Zealots kind of get caught coming back around the corner as well, so a little bit of a nasty position. And is it going to matter? It doesn't seem like it. Looks as though we're still going to be able to get through. Next round of Zealots is warping in. 11 Zealots coming straight into place. I'm just going to be seeing this army still pushing over. In the end, Cristiano makes a decent-ish hold of it. Like, I mean, the position was pretty rough for him, so the problem is he's still going to lose the bottom left base. He's losing his eco advantage as well, so now he's not going to have anything to work with in his favor. I still don't think he's actually going to deal with the army of Trigger either. Just Trigger is going to take game number 1. And Cristiano's chances of potentially getting 3rd place in this group are dropping, as now he would have to win the next 2 in a row. We'll see if he can do so and get that started up in a moment, guys, as our second map will be set in a moment. What says the map? Wasn't picked. They did not pick a second map, guys. I repeat, a second map has not been picked. They just said 10k for map 1. Winter maps. In credit to Cristiano, I actually felt like he put himself in an alright position considering the DTs were pretty heavily stopped early. He definitely gave himself a chance at things. Let's get Winter Madness up and running. Let's game 2 get started. Trigger with the 1-0 lead. Be into this in just a second, guys. Cristiana ready. Trigger ready. Go, go. Protoss, all set. We're good. Let's send it. Do 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 do. Not picking a second map is a boss move. It shows confidence of winning the best of 3 in one map. Your opponent's so demoralized you don't think they're even gonna tune into the second map. It just doesn't matter. Yeah. I never looked at it like this, but yeah, it makes so much sense. That's why some players are so eager to make sure map 2 is picked as they're loading into map 1. He's like, hey, I don't want you to have that confidence. I want the confidence to know. I want you to know I intend to be here for map 2. Oh my goodness, all the mind games make so much sense suddenly. Trigger top left-hand side here on Winter Madness is our Teal Protoss from Basilisk. Of course, he takes on Cristiana in the bottom right. Trigger fighting for first place in this group. Cristiana fighting for third place. Third place is elimination, but it does mean more prize money. A loss for him will leave him in fourth place and basically misses out on $25. So there is a little bit of a difference there. Spring Championship does play out every single competitor. It's the benefit of these bigger WardiTV Spring, Summer Championships, etc. that they do pay out to every single player participating all the way down. Even if you don't win a series on the day, you still get paid. So Cristiano will walk away $25 minimum. He just has the chance to double that up to $50 if he does so wish. Alright, so we got this going. Get this settled. Anyway, number 2, Cybercore coming up. And get going for a couple moments here. Get that all underway just initially. Take a couple seconds. Expansion coming down from Trigger, so he's confident to get an expansion up and be able to hold on to it here. And that's going to be his statement early. See the Stargate from Cristiana. So Cristiana will try and apply some pressure. Stargate all the way back at home. I think this is fine for Trigger. I think it's very difficult to punish an expansion like this when you go Stargate as Cristiana. You're pretty much guaranteed to expand yourself. And while you will still have the Oracles to harass with, you're obviously going to be on a bit of a later expand. That said, I mean, I actually don't mind the Stargate player's position here, because like I say, you're going to have some Oracles to harass with, and being able to harass around with some Oracles is actually a pretty good deal in and of itself. So that's actually kind of, you know, pretty neat altogether. Do you see this one Adept? Going to come moving through Stalker, and a couple of sentries going to get after it. Probes around. Denied. Adept down. And kill that off. Clean that up. Couple of probes going across the map. Then the rover facility coming through. And again, Nexus and company coming about. Still got the battery coming in on either side. So Hallucination just getting a scout down to the bottom as well. Try to see what else is going on. And again, a few more probes. Moving around for a couple moments. Twilight Council is building from Cristiana, so he is going to get straight to the Twilight on the follow-up to this. The Robo showing the defensive nature of what Trigger is going to be aiming at. Oracle shows up. Instantly 2 probes, just finds them both on the high ground. Nice little catch. So first Oracle already delivering in a big way. We've seen the extra stalker and warp by. Again, that blink is coming up on both sides of this, so we bring that through just initially. Get that on the go. Again, the immortal building up as well. Get that started. Have the hallucination, gonna see the Oracle, gonna fire a couple shots up, nothing too crazy. Again, blink coming in from both players. Cristiana will have it a little bit sooner. Obviously, you've got the Immortals to try and help you play defense's trigger if you do need it against that faster blink. That'll be the initial plan. And then Immortal just chrono boosting out the Stalkers. Begin to move back out into the middle of the map. Extra gates coming through as well. Again, Prism and that blink coming around. Just gonna find a Stalker initially. Cristiana getting a little pick, utilizing that high ground vision of the Oracle. A little bit of value, but I just don't think these Stalkers going to be able to do too much. Unless we have like a force field or two available. We just don't. Pop the barrier on one Immortal, maybe make that a more grabbable position perhaps. So the Stalkers and the Immortals continue to come by. And do you have the Oracle just going to drop a little Revelation down onto the Immortals as well? A couple Stalkers just going to fight. A few Stalkers going back the other way. Again, probe going down. Oh, and a couple of Archons still continuing through. Stalker going down, a couple of Mortals just going to be there. We pull back into the center of the map. Little recall on the bottom side. Again, the few extra probes are coming up. The Nexus and the Pylon still coming into place. Again, Zealot, Stalker, Immortal. Oh, sorry, Zealot, Stalker, Archon. No Immortals here, sorry, from Cristiana. It is going to be the 2 Immortals still from Trigger that come across the map with this, though, as he looks to get some pressure going. Get a blink underneath. That Prism is way too far forward, so it goes down immediately. Now these Immortals are swinging onto Zealots. This is not a good fight for Trigger at all. Cristiana has the better composition here. The only thing that's not good is that he doesn't have charge. Oh no. If he has charge, okay, I was making my statement based on the thought existence of charge here, because I thought the Zealots were just going to leap on this army and eat it up, and if there was charge, he would have just ate this up. Instead, Trigger is going to kind of live through, stays in the main base to deal with, and he doesn't see it. It's a big stasis, hits every probe on the minerals, so it's a massive deal. Zealot, Stalker, Archon still coming about. There's going to be seeing a few of those Stalkers getting pushed away. Stalker still blinking up, still chasing for a little while. Just having the Stalkers obviously trying to make use of their numbers. And like I say, without charge, a lot of these Zealots are just way less useful than they should be, so they're just getting eaten up alive and not providing anywhere near the value that they should be to the army. The lack of a charge is a killer for Cristiano, who obviously had the faster blink as well, so really should have had charge by now, and I think he thought it was on the way as well. So painful with charge, he just wins the game. No, absolutely. Like, if he has charge like those Immortals die, so many more of these Stalkers died as well, trying to do something about that fight initially. Now charge is done, and obviously that's great and all, but it's nowhere near the position this once was. There's like 4 Zealots left. And again, eaten up, and these Stalkers will continue to kite away from these Archons and get some more shots off as they go. Stalkers get in, the Archon takes a shot, we don't get a kill. At least keeping those Archons alive is a positive at the moment. Keeping those up and running is a big plus, as we are going to see a couple of Zealots charging through. The Archon's going to be there, Stalkers as well. Still coming over. Continue to pull back another moment or two. Trigger still pushing forward. I think Trigger might just have this right here, though. It's starting to look very good for him as the numbers keep just going further and further in his favor. The value of these Blink Stalkers is really showing. It's about to have a Dark Shrine behind this as well, by the way. And this is the only detection is the Oracle Revelation availability, I think. No Robo facility, so nearly lost the Oracle there. That would have been a disaster. This Trigger was just going to let the Oracle go down as it flies over the Stalkers anyway, so didn't even have to target fire that. He's just taking this fight. He has more than enough. 2-0 for Trigger is going to round this out, and that is going to be GG. We're going to get it called right there on this day as Trigger gets a 3-0 in this group, advances out of Group B in first place. And Cristiana, that missing charge upgrade, so painful for him. Very unfortunate. All right. Well, guys. That's going to wrap us up for Group B of the Spring Championship. Remember, tomorrow we've got some great games coming up. Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be starting 1 hour later. In fact, I need to make sure that that's known on Wikipedia. Just make sure that that's fixed. As, yeah, we will be starting 1 hour later, so Wikipedia is not right now, but we'll start 1 hour later than we did today. And tomorrow, Hero, Zaun, Classic, Bjorn will be participating. So Hero versus Zaun, Zaun versus Classic, Bjorn versus Hero, Hero versus Classic, Bjorn versus Zaun, and Bjorn versus Classic. It should be good because Bjorn's TVP has been good lately, so I actually think it's a very fun group where obviously the PvPs can go any which way. And a lot on the line as well, because again, first place in this group starts in the upper bracket semi-finals, top 6 of the tournament guaranteed. Second place of the group gets to start in the upper bracket round 1, and third and fourth place must fight their way through group stage 2, so obviously going to Sunday, and Sunday I think is the big day. Shin versus Solar, then versus Max Pax, then he goes versus Clem, then Solar plays Max Pax, Solar plays Clem, and Max Pax and Clem will wrap us up on that seeding group. In Group B, looks like a whole lot of fun. So yeah, looking forward to those over the weekend. Of course, WardiTV Mondays on the Monday as well. And again, just confirming as well, Trigger does finish this group in first place, Cure in second. They will both advance alongside so far Rogue and Geralt into the group stage 2, also joined by Shameless and Percival. That group stage 2 actually looking to be fun. Rogue, Geralt, Shameless, Percival, Trigger, Cure. A couple of the guys from up here are going to drop down into it. And then obviously 2 of Skillet, Strange, Lambo, and Ryung will get over there as well. So awesome. Alrighty, guys. Appreciate you all. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. And I will be catching you guys next time for some more StarCraft 2s. So, yeah, hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the seeding Group A. And then Sunday seeding Group B. And all the rest. You guys have a great one. Like I say, short stream. It's nice and sunny. Appreciate you all. Ciao.